Real
Good.
quick.
What's
Um,
up? Is porn cheating?
hey, well, yes. Yes. In my worldview, yes, it's cheating. Depending on the interactions that two couples have, it's either considered cheating or not, given if they're okay with introducing it in their relationship.
Hmm.
Yes. I do have a couple questions. I mean, I do have a question that does extend to that on what I just said about the betrayal aspect of
Okay.
introducing porn to relationships. So,
Sure.
um, the scenario that two couples introduce it into their relationship, where does betrayal come into that aspect?
If the couple agrees to use pornography,
Yes.
well, technically, by definition, I don't think there's a betrayal because you've agreed on it, right?
Okay.
However, you may not be as monogamous as you think, or that couple may not be as monogamous as they think
Mhm.
if they're using other people for their sexual gratification.
Okay.
Does that make
So,
sense?
yeah, it makes sense. So I guess where I have trouble with it, where I have trouble where two couples introduce it into the relationship, things, I wouldn't say take a turn for the worse, but they're not in that honeymoon phase anymore. And I would say their intimacy tends to, lower a little bit. And so with that, maybe the man would watch it, would continuously watch porn, and then all of a sudden his significant other might have a problem with that, and then that turns into betrayal. I'm just not understanding the concept of betrayal in that scenario.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people who do that to where they agree that they're going to use pornography in the relationship, and then later on, one of them, typically the woman, in my experience, decides that they don't like it anymore. Hello, Danielle. And then that becomes what I like to call you're renegotiating the expectation. So if one person is now no longer okay with it, at that point it would become a betrayal.
Hmm. But I does that make that okay though when they are okay with it and then now they're not okay with it?
Well, it's you got to ask them that, right?
Okay.
If you at one point agreed to it and then changed what your agreement was, I mean, sure, you could say it's not okay anymore because one person saying, "Hey, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I'm no longer agreeing to this."
Okay.
Do you watch
Okay.
porn?
Yes. And there is a addicting factor that comes with that, which I am going to therapy about, so I'm trying to kick the addiction
Mm-hmm.
right now. That's something that I've been exposed to when I was a little kid, which most men have been. That's why they're addicted in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm one of those statistics, I would say. And so that's one of the things that I'm working on right now.
Yeah. Well, good for you. How long has it been a problem for you?
Since I was like 9.
Mm. Yeah, that's young,
Yeah,
man.
I've had I had an older brother, cousins, uncles who were watching it, way back when I was a little kid, and it's just one of those things I got exposed to at a time where I wasn't supposed to, and from then, it just became a habit.
Yeah. How long have
Yeah,
you been trying to work on stopping?
I would say better part of a year. So there's certain things that I implement in my life where it's actually making progress. Like I'm no longer on, you know, social media sites to where they promote such provocative pictures, such as like Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have an Instagram, no longer have one. I deleted that. Uh, all the other, I would say, um, apps or other social medias like Reddit, where you can find that kind of stuff easily, I've gotten rid of. And that seems to be working out. I mean, the only reason why I'm on TikTok is because I like these debates on what I listen to, including this
Mm-hmm.
right here. And I like
Mm-hmm.
to give my input.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Have you gotten to the root of the issue? Like why you watch porn?
I would say there's a multitude of reasons. Granted, that's just it's fun to watch, I would say. But to get more deeper into it, um, it could have been stemming from a place of like I would say loneliness, where
Hmm.
you know um, there's nobody there. You know what I mean? And I tend to get lonely sometimes, or another one where I was in a significant, or I was in a relationship, and it was just one of those things where intimacy did lower, or there might have been a case where there have been problems going on in a relationship to where intimacy had been turned off, and that was just, I would say, the coping mechanism to kind of you know
Yeah.
relieve that problem
Yeah.
on my end, but not really taking care of what's going on in the relationship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Got it, man. Well, good for you. Good. Way to begin on that journey. And you got to find that, you mentioned you're coping. You got to find that root cause. Like, what are you coping from? And how are you going to make sure that you develop new tools going forward? Assuming that's what you're wanting, is to not watch pornography, which it sounds like you are.
yes, of
So,
course, yeah. That's I
yeah.
and I kind of like this dynamic where I'm not trying to use a motivation or a motivator factor, such as like having a significant other, in order to quit porn, because I feel that, or I believe that it doesn't typically last. If you're with a significant other and they're your sole motivator to stop watching porn, but then if that were to end, it would just you would go back to square root one and just start watching again because of like the loneliness. So I'm glad
Hmm.
I'm in this position right now to where I'm trying to kick it when I'm not with anybody right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Well, thanks for sharing, man.
Of course.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Bye bye. What's going on, people? Like and share if you wouldn't mind. Just getting started here. Here. NNN, fellas. No, not November. That is a thing. Not if your significant other is okay with it. If it's a boundary they aren't okay with, then yes. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. What's up?
So, just here to talk about the topic.
Okay.
So, I think it is based on my relationship's boundaries, because I'm talking personally, but I know a lot of other people, it's based on their boundaries. So, I think it's just more based on what you and your partner are comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
But usually, because there are people that get addicted to it, so I think it's personally for me, you do have an emotional relationship with it eventually. So I think it is just cheating in general.
Okay. Have you been in a relationship with somebody who watches porn?
Yes, and it wasn't a very, I had a quite big issue with it. So it kind of impacted our relationship physically and emotionally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. So what did you do about that?
Well, I just shared my boundaries about it and just asked for them to respect it because I understand it is an addiction. So it is hard to overcome it.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like you need to stop right now. I'm not, or I have to break up with you. I like worked with them to overcome that problem, but eventually it just was too much. So we did eventually have to separate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. Um, yeah, sometimes boundaries can be tricky, right? Because boundaries are
Yeah.
not supposed to control another person's behavior. They're supposed to, or they're intended to just declare what our behavior will be if something
Yeah.
like a request isn't met, right?
Yeah.
How long did you try to work it out in that instance you were mentioning?
About it was about a year
Hmm.
of working with it because it does take a long time to overcome an addiction.
Mm-hmm. Can. Yeah. And was that person getting help for it?
Yes, but he eventually just didn't want it anymore, so if he wasn't working to help himself, then I couldn't either.
Yeah. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. If they don't want it,
Yeah,
they're not gonna stick to it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, sorry to hear you went through that, and thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was really
All
nice
right.
to share.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
You too.
Like and share, people. Is this Hello.
Hi, my friend.
Are you the one who talks about health insurance?
Yes, and you know what? I came on here to talk about it again
Oh my
because
gosh.
they gave sex workers health insurance and maternity leave in another country. I forgot where it was. Did you see the news about that?
No, I'm gonna look at it.
Look it up.
I was talking about you with some friends the other day. I'm like, this woman came on my TikTok. Jeez. Oh, it's so funny. Let's see. Sex workers in Belgium have been given Belgium sex workers get maternity leave and pensions under world's first law. Interesting. Had to work while I was 9 months pregnant. Yeah, I mean, so the when you initially said you think that they should get health insurance, who were you implying that they should get it from?
From the government.
From the government.
I think everyone should have health insurance.
How? Why?
Why everyone should have health insurance?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a human right.
You think one
I think our
person's
health
labor
and
is
is
another
something that
person's
everyone deals
right?
with. Huh?
You think one person's service is another person's right?
Um, I think I think people are people, and if some people can work, if someone needs the help, then they should be able to get it even if they're not working because they're still human beings and everyone
Mm-hmm.
deals with health.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should
It's
have universal health care.
it'll be interesting to see what this law does in Belgium, because it looks like it's a first, potentially a like a landmark type thing that would spread to other countries.
Yeah, I,
Belgium,
I I'd
I
love to see
think,
stuff
clearly
like
has
that.
different laws with regard to it. But that's
I
interesting.
follow a lot of sex worker pages, and
Mm-hmm.
they talk about that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's like a big deal about receiving benefits as if they're workers.
Mm-hmm. Should people who
So
work, I'm just going to ask you a bunch of silly questions. Should people who work as criminals
no,
get
no, go ahead.
free health care as well?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely. I think that we should reform the way that we we treat criminals.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
guess they
I
do get it though.
think
I mean, everybody in our country though, anybody who goes like, and I'm not educated on this topic, right? But so I'm just
yeah,
speaking out loud. We're getting way off topic. But
I
anybody
know,
who
I
goes
know.
into a
We can
hospital
get
in
back
this
on.
country, yeah, they'll get health care, right? Aren't there
Yeah.
laws in place where nobody would be denied care?
Um, I'm not sure because I think that it depends on the state that you live in.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have to look that up because I know I live in Massachusetts, so I know that Massachusetts has Mass Health, but I don't know if other places also have that available, if other states have that
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 people said in the chat, yes. So it must be true. Um,
Okay, okay.
yeah. Anyways, well, that's interesting. Did you want to share anything else besides that law?
I want to share that I haven't watched any porn since the last time that I watched it.
Since the last time that you watched it,
Yeah,
or that
remember
you
when I
watched
came
me?
on and I told you that I watched it the other
Oh,
day, like a
yeah,
while
yeah.
back? I haven't watched any for a while,
Yeah, good for you. Is that
so
led
I'm
to,
very proud of myself.
yeah, has that been a positive change in your life?
Um, I would say so because I feel like you've definitely convinced me that maybe that my usage of it is a crutch to like attached to trauma.
Yeah.
So
Did you read this
if
book
I
yet?
don't no, I need to get a look at it. I literally just finished. I'm a college student, and I literally just finished a paper. It's finals week next week. I'm
The
like
Chiefs one?
rushing. I got to get to it though. I
Yeah.
did screenshot it though.
Okay, yeah, read Unwanted. You'll love it. Thanks for checking in, and thanks for
I
sharing
will
that.
definitely.
Yeah, I'll read more about that law as well.
Of course.
All
I
right.
always love talking with you.
Yep. Thanks for sharing. Bye bye.
Bye.
My wife just interrupted me to tell me the Chiefs won. So spoiler alert. I love that. I love talking to you as well. It's fun. I think my internet's jacked up. Hey there, what's
Hey,
going on?
hey, not much. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. What's up?
Not much. I was curious what your position on porn is. I know it says your marquee says porn cheating.
Yeah.
What is your position? Do you think it's healthy, unhealthy?
I think if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person and you've said something like, I love you, only you, mind, body, and soul, till death do us part, if you deviate from that agreement or commitment, whether it's with a person on a screen or otherwise, that would be cheating. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Okay. Do you,
Yeah. My main reason for coming up was I had an interesting experience. I went to Texas to I have a daughter that lives out there, and I had to go and pick my daughter up. And before I had picked her up, I had a couple days, to get my hotel, get situated, and I kind of was, going to go out and you know explore the town, maybe go to a bar or something. And I went to go look at some porn, and I couldn't get on a site. And I was, and I'm not in, by the way, I'm not in a committed relationship, but I do think it's unhealthy, all the way around. And I couldn't get on the site, and there was a huge sense of relief at the fact that I couldn't get on. I just thought it was besides the euphoria that you feel from, obviously watching and consuming porn, it was a sense of relief. And I'll share another thing. I had a gambling addiction for a lot of years, and I would systematically go, once I realized how bad it was, I would systematically go and exclude myself from casinos. And I knew a lot of the people because I had gotten pretty entrenched in the scene. So I knew most of the people who ran the rooms, and I only gambled on poker. That was it. I didn't like any other games. But doing that, going in and self-excluding, made me quitting a lot easier because
what does self-excluding mean in that? Like you can go tell a casino, hey, don't let me gamble?
No. So my first experience, and I'm going to get a little flamboyant here, but like I knew the guy who ran the room, and it kind of half playing, but like trying to be serious. I went into his office and I said, listen, Sam, I need you to take me out of this place where I'm going to do something stupid, And he said, done, I'll ban you. So he banned me. And then it kind of progressed from there. And he knew what I was asking for. And I was kind of like, in that first group of people that started doing this self-exclusion, where you would go and say, go up to administration, or like if you're in a Hard Rock casino, you go and say, hey, look, I want to ban myself. And they make you sign some documents. And if you go back in, they can arrest you. And it worked for me, And when I had this thing happen with the porn in Texas, I was like, this should be something that should really be looked at banning. Because I know a lot of people. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. How do you in the case of self-exclusion from casinos? What's the mechanism to unself-exclude yourself? Like, how easy would it be to say, "Oh, never mind"?
So it's interesting. You asked. Good question. Good question. They have options, right? And you can do lifetime. You can do 5 years or 1 year. Most of the big places I've done a lifetime. There's a few places that I'll go and do a year. Like here in my hometown, I know all the people that run the room, and
Are you in Vegas?
No, I live in
Okay,
Florida.
got it.
And I just, I do that for a year, and then I'll go in and remember how horrible and ugly it is. And then I go back up, and it's funny because my friend who runs the podium comes up to me. Last time I had reached my year, and they started taking bets over under as to how fast
They started betting on it.
Yeah, he says I got 2 weeks, or one guy's like I got a week, but it for me, when you look at even drug addictions, because addictions run deep in my family. Both my parents were heroin addicts, and you don't put heroin or crack in front of you don't put heroin in front of a heroin addict. You don't put crack in front of a crack addict. And if you can systematically take these things away from people and figure out mechanisms to keep them away from it, it's a healthier option for them. And then once you have some time away from something, it's much harder to go back to it. It's not as easy as just a couple of weeks or days and then when you're exposed to it and it's always around you, it's tough. It's difficult.
Yeah. So you had that experience in Texas where you tried to go look. I'm assuming it was the big hub site, which is banned in Texas. You weren't able to, and you were kind of relieved. What happened when you got back to Florida?
I mean, resumed my consumption. I waited a few days, or maybe a week, or not even a week, like maybe 4 or 5 days. But it was a stressful experience. I work a very stressful job, so a stressful experience, happened, and I'm like, oh, well, this is my crutch, and I'll lean on it.
Have you tried to actually take an intentional effort at quitting?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And how'd that go for you?
I mean, I make it at times for a while, but I'm an addict. I would 100% say that. But,
What's the longest you've gone? What's the longest you've gone without it?
Man, it's interesting. When I was a kid, I was 19 years old. I went a year without sex or any masturbation. And that's when you got the most hormones and testosterone pumping through, and you think that's probably the worst time. But I would say, man, maybe a couple of weeks. Maybe a couple of weeks.
How old are you?
48.
48. Have you ever been married?
No. Got 2 daughters, but never been married.
Okay. What is your porn use costing you?
Time.
What else?
Right now, time is the most valuable commodity for me that I think it robs me of. That
What
and
else?
just the. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what else?
There's a bit of shame, not in the. Well, I would say that I would say there's a bit of shame. Short-lived, obviously. You're like, oh well, let's stuff it down and deal with it, and get my fix. But that's it, really. I mean, other than that, but those are 2 huge ones for me, because the time that I could not be doing that, I mean, I'm a pretty driven guy, and in my business, I could really kill it and be.
What do you do?
I work in finance, mortgage. I'm a mortgage broker.
Okay. How much time do you spend watching porn?
Enough. I mean, it's not even just that. It's maybe 5 minutes here, or
Right, but thinking about
10
it, creating the
minutes
situation.
But then I'm lethargic, and I'm just like, I feel like But instead, I can be over here, chat GPTing it up and looking for ways to modify my business, my approach, how to better help customers, get a bigger outreach or information platform for people to understand what I do and how I can help them, stuff like that. I think this is honestly an epidemic and systemic problem.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Texas thing was just such an eye opener for me, because it was such a sudden experience where I was like, wow, okay, this is it was very reminiscent of my self-exclusion, only, it was the state of Texas that did the exclusion.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason you're hanging on to it, man, in my experience. What's up, Angela? Presumably you've watched it, since your mid-teenage years or so?
No, ironically, I wasn't very.
Or did you say 9? Was that you that said 9?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't. I was probably. I didn't even like watching. Like you remember, like how old are you?
39.
39. Well, you probably remember some of this, but they had like the old, like cheesy '80s videos and stuff like that. Like your parents or somebody would have one, pop it in the VC. I never did any of that stuff. I didn't have any dirty magazines or any of that. Probably up until I was maybe 23, 24. And then I was ironically, again, I was in Texas. I've lived in Florida for almost 40 years, but I was in Texas when I first saw a porn site. And I was like, what is this? And probably since probably 2003-ish.
Yeah.
But I do think there can be steps and measures put in place to help, to help people combat it. I do think it's an issue, and I think legislation is going to be a big deal. And for the people that are out there saying, oh, you should be able to choose whatever you want. No, you shouldn't. You're not allowed to choose, to go and just consume heroin on the street corners. And we see how that's done when you allow people free access to their devices.
Yeah. Max Motivate. What's up, bro? Sorry. Max, where have you been? Dude, it's been forever. It's been like a year. What's up, man? Yeah, well, there are ways, man. There are ways to stop. And I'm a coach, man. I'd love to chat. If you want to schedule a call with me, you can use the link in my bio. Whether I can help you or point you towards other resources. I got on this journey when I was 32, and life is so much better without porn. And you can do it. I promise you can do it. There's two parts to it. One is behavior modification, which is things like you're doing. The second one, arguably more important, is finding the root of the issue and healing from that root. So what is it that got you there? What's keeping you there? And why do you keep going back to it?
The same reason I go back to all my vices.
Yeah, well, exactly. And so, there's a pattern here. So what would it take for you to really, to leave those things behind and make changes going forward?
Man, that's tough because providing for my family is not an option. I have to be able to do that. And I picked a career path that is quite stressful. It's at any given day, I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in somebody's, life savings, weighing in the periphery of my decisions. It's not like I have sway over them, but if I mess up or don't do something right, it puts them in jeopardy, and that's a lot for me to bear. So, in one sense, I'm happy that I'm not like an alcoholic or I'm not an opiate addict. But I definitely agree with you. It's something that I could change, and if I could change, when I tell you gambling, like I've literally been in the situation where I was driving down the road and I've had a person who I was intimate with call me and say, hey, come on over, and I go, I'm on the road, I can't do this tonight, and I would go and choose gambling. So if I can beat gambling, but I found a way to do it. That's the difference. Fly me to Vegas, and I'm like Frankie Four Fingers and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but
I know the reference.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah. Message me something, and then I'd be more than willing to have
Well,
a call
shoot me a DM. I can't message you while I'm on here, but if you want to shoot me a DM, I'll send you some stuff. All right.
Hey,
nice
by the
chatting,
way,
man.
I'm sure you probably get this all the time, but how the hell did you
Seth
get your lighting
Rogen?
so good?
Oh, my lighting. I thought you were going to say I sound like Seth Rogen. I use TikTok Live Studio, which you have to have 10,000 followers to use, and then you can use an app on a Windows PC and connect a nice camera and stuff to it. So,
Gotcha. All right.
yeah.
I appreciate you letting me up, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Bye.
You too, man. Bye.
Cowboy Bunny Beep, what's up? Max Motivate, you there? Dude, come on and chat. I just invited you. Does rationalizing one's addiction present? Jay Cuts, what's up, man? Do the laugh? I can't do the laugh. That's so bad. Max,
Yo, what up?
dude, where have you been?
I've been here. I've been alive. I don't know. I ain't been active on TikTok.
You fell off the face of the planet.
I did. I did.
What's that? How's your health?
I'm actually really good, bro.
Okay, good. For those of you who don't know Max Motivate, he's an anti-porn guy. We used to do lives together, and then he disappeared, and he's back. He's back. Good, man. How's Jocelyn? She was here not too long ago.
She's good. She's actually wrapping some Christmas gifts right now.
Nice. Did you get another job? I guess it's been a long time, but
Well, still the same job. I don't know, same company, but I got a different position, so a little
not
bit
breaking your back anymore.
Still breaking my back, just not quite the same.
Different kind of back breaking.
Yeah.
Nice. Still porn free?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Cool, man. Well, good seeing you.
Yeah, you too, bro.
All right, see you. Though. Oh. Seth Rogen. Hey there, what's going on?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up? Is porn cheating?
It depends on the context.
Okay. Like what?
Well, if you have a partner that, or a person or persons you're intimate with, you can talk about whether you consider it cheating or not.
Okay.
And so, yeah,
Do you watch porn?
yeah.
How often?
I'd rather not share that
How come?
because that's personal information I don't want to share on the internet.
You don't want to share how frequently you watch it? Okay. Are you in a relationship?
No, not currently.
Not currently. All right. How long have you been watching porn for?
Since, let's see, I don't want to, since I was a teenager, I'll say that. I don't want to like give too many specifics. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this somebody goes, you're on a burner account. Just say it.
Oh, I'm definitely not on a burner account.
Oh,
This is my one and only TikTok account.
got it.
That's why I don't want to say everything.
Okay. All right. So why'd you come up here?
Oh, yeah, because I don't think porn is necessarily cheating.
Okay.
And also, I think there were a lot of things in the comments and discussed in the live that I disagree with about
Like what?
porn.
Like what?
Like porn addiction isn't recognized by any reputable health organization as an actual thing.
It's not in the DSM. You're correct. Did I say that, or did somebody else say that?
No, but other people have been talking about porn addiction. Like the last guy that was, no, 2 guys ago, and then people in the chat as well.
Do you think porn can be addicting?
I think porn, let's see, okay. Technically, in terms of like anything being able to be addicting or addictive, yes. But I don't think in terms of a disease, porn is an addiction. And I do think I forget what it is. There's like a compulsive disorder related to porn or sex, but that's not the same as an addiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And does that change it for you? Like how it should be viewed? Yeah, how it should be viewed.
Yeah, I don't think the problems with porn are when porn is harmful or created in a harmful way, and it's the ethics around the actual manifestation of porn rather than the consumption. unless consuming you're also consuming in a harmful way, which I guess could be possible.
Have you ever been to the big hub site?
Yeah.
Do you frequent it?
I've been there enough. I'll say that.
Okay. So do you know you've probably masturbated to unconsensual sex and also probably with minors as well?
I recognize that I have no way of knowing without, well, even with research, that something is ethical or not.
Well, it's not about whether it's ethical. It's been proven that on the big hub site, 1 in 8 videos on the homepage, at least on the homepage, are videos depicting unconsensual sex and or sex with minors.
Yeah, and I recognize this,
Yeah. Okay.
and that's why I try to be ethically consume porn as much as I can.
What is ethical porn to you?
Ethical porn is porn in which people are engaging in the act of the intimate act as well as the recording, have full knowledge, have full willingness and consent, and have proper payment. There's a lot of things, but yeah.
Okay. Do you think a woman's body is a marketplace?
I think that's a interesting question because there's people market their bodies in all sorts of ways, and porn is just one of them.
Let me ask you two differently then. Do you participate in the marketplace of using women's bodies as an economy?
Within the capitalist society I live in, yes, because I can't
Okay.
not. But I don't pay for porn, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I don't.
You don't pay
choose-
for it with dollars.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
You don't pay for it with dollars.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you for sure pay for it. No doubt about
Well,
that.
in what way? In what way are you
well-
saying I pay for it? I'm interested.
Well, I'm going to say you might not agree with it, but you're giving a part of your soul because you're degrading other people. You're reducing them down to a sexual object for your pleasure. And I would say, I'm not asking you to agree, but you're like losing a part of you because you're just lowering your standards. That's one way.
But isn't all work degrading in that way?
What do you mean?
So if for instance someone like I used to be employed as a software engineer, that in essence was degrading me down into someone who would just think and type to solve complex problems with a computer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't see the comparison between you being gainfully employed, providing a service, and you reducing somebody else down to a sexual object for your consumption.
Why is it reducing them down to a sexual object?
Because that's what it is.
But you have to explain that.
No, I don't. It's self-explanatory. When you're watching porn, you're reducing the people on the screen down to a sexual object and only a sexual object, and missing the full, dignified person.
Okay, but
That's what porn
how
is.
are you-
It's objectifying other people for sexual pleasure.
not necessarily. You can
Do you
still-
masturbate when you watch the porn? Or get aroused by it?
any, Yeah, any form of consumption you could say that about though. Like if you're watching TV, are you
No,
you're
no, if-
objectifying- Yes, go ahead.
No, not any form of consumption is reducing a person down to their sexual value only.
Well, it's not sexual only, but yes, you're still reducing. If you're arguing that they are objectified, you could say that about entertainment in general, but you're saying sexually objectifying, right?
I'm saying that when people watch porn, they're reducing, and trust me, I watch my fair share of porn. You're reducing a person down to just their sexual value. Do people have sexual value? Yes. But I believe we should view people as much more than just their sexual value.
Yeah. Okay.
If we view somebody, here's the point, is if we view somebody as a whole person, this is somebody's daughter, or this is somebody's mom, or this is somebody's sister who has a life and a story, it becomes very hard just to masturbate while looking at them. Right?
Sure. But, well, not necessarily. It depends on the person.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So if you're watching a comedy special on Netflix, are you reducing that person down to their comedic value?
I don't know. I would say you're participating and experiencing something comedic that the person is offering, sure. But I think I just think it's different than reducing somebody down to their sexual value and their sexual value only, so that you can take something from them.
I mean, if they are being compensated, like that's what I was saying about payment, willingness, consent, if it's done within those same frameworks of like gainful employment, how is it different?
Well, it just goes back to the question of you're participating. Are you participating in the economy of using a woman's body as a marketplace?
And I would say, well, it's more than just a woman's body. It's a man's
Or a
body.
man's
It's
body, sure. Yes. Yeah.
non-binary person body.
Yeah,
It's,
whatever it is that you watch, yes. Yeah.
yeah.
We can split hairs on the comedy versus sex or whatever, but I think that, like, ask me if I'm willing to participate in the economy of people providing comedy for me. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm willing to do that. I saw a comedy show a couple weeks ago. It was terrible, but I went and saw it. Who was it?
Yeah.
Somebody really famous. It was awful. Right? But then, again, and I'm not mad at you if you choose to do that. I just want to call a spade a spade.
Yeah. But I'm guessing what makes this sexual value different than any other form of value?
Well, I think sex means something.
Yeah.
And it's important. It should be cherished. It's sacred. Like telling a joke and laughing is very different than all the things you see in porn.
Well, yes, yeah, no. That wasn't an analogy, but in a different sense, yeah.
Yeah. So how much porn do you watch?
I just don't want to. Let's say I'll keep it very general. Probably only like once or twice a month, actually, but I'm not going to say any more than that.
Okay. Once or twice a month. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you in a relationship? Did I ask you that?
Oh yeah, you already asked me. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. All right. Well, thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah. I guess I've one more question.
Yeah.
If so, within my theoretical model, even if you don't agree with it, that I'm proposing that there is rightful compensation, there is willingness and consent. Where is do you actually think there's harm occurring anywhere?
It's not what I think. It's what's been proven to be true, which I happen to agree with, right? There's a book called The Porn Myth that outlines this in detail. There's one with the study the great or the takedown is what it's called, taking down the hub. There's tons of harm. The question is, what is sex? And what is sex supposed to be for? Is sex supposed to be enjoyed between two people in a committed relationship? Or is sex supposed to be something that's distributed widely on the internet for people to masturbate behind a glass screen? I think there is a lot of damage in that, because we're training a whole generation of people on something that is a perversion of what sex is supposed to be. And I think that's a problem. Right? There's a reason why young people are not, birth rates are down, marriage rates are getting later, people are getting married later. And even young people don't even know how to date or court. Young people think that, again, I'm speaking men and women typical terms, but that women want violence in the bedroom. They want to be choked. They want all these things that they're seeing in porn. It's not supposed to be like that, in my opinion. 88% of porn scenes depict acts of physical aggression or violence. It's not. It's not what a romantic monogamous relationship is supposed to be, at least the way I see it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a problem. Yeah. And for the consumer, the person consuming it, you can say, oh yeah, well they're there willingly, which cite your source. Look into how the sausage is made. They're there willingly. They're getting paid, blah, 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 whatever. You got to look at what it's doing to you. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. If in private, even if it's once or twice a month or once a week or whatever it is, you're training your brain to view people as sexual objects and that everyone else is just there for your pleasure, to please you, to satisfy you. And that permeates how you view the world. How do I know? Because I used to do that for 20 years. So I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah. But I don't think that necessarily has to be the experience or is everyone's experience. Like, I don't think, I think there are aspects of porn that can lead you to, and there is porn that does objectify people and only exploits them for their sexual value. But just because I am engaging in something, if just because I'm engaging in something doesn't mean I still can't understand that person is a person and not just this one quality or one trait.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it just goes back to what are you wanting, right?
Yeah.
If like, are you wanting to be in a relationship?
Not currently, no.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I won't argue with you on if you're able to do that or not, right? Again, I just say oftentimes when we train our brains that way, it permeates everywhere. Right.
Yeah. Can I ask, I think you said sex outside of marriage of two people is a perversion? Something along.
I don't know.
Sex is perverted. And,
I don't know what I said.
Oh, okay.
So the point I was trying to make is sex supposed to be something where we're masturbating in front of a screen or something enjoyed between two people in a committed relationship, I think is what I said.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think...
Or differently put, masturbating to a screen is not sex.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
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 So do you think the only... are you assigning like a moral or ethical value to sex?
Well, I think sex means something, right? Oftentimes when you have sex, another human being appears in 9 months. Not always, but it does happen. So I think that, there's something to look at there. Like, what does this mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a way that people connect in relationships, and masturbating to a screen is not that.
Yeah, and I don't think it should be a substitute for actually having real friendships, relationships, mentors, things like that with people.
Yeah.
But
Which
yeah,
oftentimes
but,
it does become that. But
yeah, and I think it can get problematic then.
yeah,
But I think all humans, whether we're in a relationship or not, if we have reproductive anatomy, we are sexual creatures. And so we like don't need to engage in sexual activity, but there is a part of our biology that necessitates sexual activity, if that makes sense.
well, it's required for the human race to continue.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah. Yes. Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too. See ya.
Hi.
Hey there. What's going on?
Not much, but I've been watching you for quite some time, and I always said no, that porn wasn't cheating. Porn wasn't cheating.
Okay.
But it is. And the reason why is because I feel like, well, not like feel like, but people have told me that after watching porn, they always go and look for more. They always say, porn's not enough. Porn got boring. And then it led to cheating, if
Yeah.
that made sense. Like it led to something more than what I was anticipating, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
Porn use always escalates.
yeah, it always escalated. So obviously, we already know it's like bad for the brain and like all that stuff too. But that's just my opinion. It ended up leading to cheating anyways. So
So you said you used to think it's cheating and now you don't?
I used to not think porn was cheating.
Oh,
I
I'm
used
sorry.
to,
Yeah. You used to not think it was, and now you do.
yeah, I used to think porn wasn't cheating.
Uh-huh.
Just because, back in the day, I used to kind of watch it too. But then I ended up getting married, and like it was just something that me and him had decided, like unanimously, like both together, that we just weren't gonna watch.
Hey, can you hold on a second? I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Sorry.
no
Hold on.
worries. Yeah, no worries. Oops. Oh, thank you for the roses. Appreciate it. Anyways, how's everybody's day going? I'll kind of take over. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah, if you and your partner both agree, I guess it wouldn't be considered cheating if you guys are both doing it and you guys both don't have a problem with it. But it was kind of like what he was saying. Like, if you're in a monogamous relationship and you're saying, I choose you and only you, then at that point it is cheating. That makes sense.
All right. I'm back. Sorry.
Hi.
What got you to that point? I know you said you were reconsidering it, but like over what timeline did that happen?
Well, we've been married for a year now, so I'd say like right when we got married is kind of when I decided like, hey, you know what? Let's not do this, because in the past my relationships it didn't work out, and I used to allow it in our relationship. I used to do it. They used to do it. Eventually I would just hear the same thing. Porn wasn't enough. They go to OnlyFans. They start messaging these women, and
Yeah.
it just was like, okay.
And your
No, this-
husband was doing all that?
No. So my husband.
You were just
wasn't
like
doing-
researching that.
Yeah, no, it was just my past exes and my past relationships. That's what it would lead to. And so it was just kind of like a decision that me and my husband made together.
Yeah.
But if you guys are both deciding to watch porn, that's where it kind of gets tricky, because if you and your partner both are going to watch it and you both agree to it, at that point, is that cheating then? If you both decide that you want to watch it together or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say technically it's not cheating, but then
Right.
there's the question of why. Usually viewing pornography indicates something else is going on in the relationship where we feel like we have to bring other people in,
Right.
even if it's on a screen. But technically, if there's an agreement there, it wouldn't be cheating.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I was thinking. I was listening to you talk, and you said, like, obviously, if you're in a monogamous relationship, saying I choose you and only you, but then also are watching somebody else at that point, you're not only cheating on your partner, but you're also cheating yourself too.
Yeah.
And that's so. That's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Bye bye. Hey there, what's going on?
Hello?
Hi there, what's up?
I agree with you. I know
Good.
it's not the way you're looking for, but all these people coming on here saying that watching, that thing is not cheating. They're wrong.
Okay. Why is that?
We're not. Well, because we're supposed to be intimate to one partner, right? We're supposed to be close to one partner, and they don't do that when they're cheating.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm with you, not that I'm with you, but like if I'm with you or any other partner and I'm, being with you, it kind of hurts our feelings when they just leave us, right? Like, not you, but like, why are we not good enough as women? Why do you need to, fantasize about that stuff?
Mm-hmm. Have you been drinking tonight?
No, I'm just saying, it's very hurtful.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Have you
So
been
it's like,
yeah. Yeah. I agree.
and I understand, like, some people think porn's not cheating, but they have to understand, yes, it is. In a way. No offense. It is, because it hurts the partner that you're with. It's not that we're not good enough, but you sit there and you get this porn, no offense, and it's like, we're not good enough.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for sharing. Hey, what's up, man?
I just wanted to go back to what you said about when you do one thing, it's how you do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I put in the chat earlier that if you rationalize one addiction, when other addictions come along or potential addictions come along, does it train the brain to rationalize those as well?
Are you asking me that, or you're asserting that as a opinion?
I'm asserting it.
Yeah.
I was just going back to what you said. And then the topic is porn cheating. I agree it is. If you're not in a relationship, you're still cheating yourself. You're destroying your dopamine receptors. You're destroying a lot that people can't see.
Do you watch porn?
Nah.
Did you ever?
I did. Someone introduced it to me as a really young boy, and then that, I don't know, that just kind of turned me off it. So I never really. But I played a lot of sports, so I never really had a lot of time to just sit around in my room and kind of go into that.
Yeah. I read something in this book, Unwanted, that I reference all the time. It said something like only 27% of men in his study, which I think was about 5,000 or so people. I'm sorry, not just men. 27% of people had a regular workout routine. Only 27% of the people who fell into this unwanted sexual behavior, as he describes it, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I really think it comes down to keeping yourself busy and just not falling into temptation, things like that.
Yeah, it's certainly part of it. How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. How long have you not been watching porn?
I mean, like I said, I watched it when it was some older dude like showed it to me as a younger kid, probably like 12 or 13, and it just I don't know, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't see anything wrong with it until I started to grow up, and then I don't know, it kind of turned into some trauma, and I mean, I've had other things come my way, just not the porn.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thanks for sharing, man. Yeah.
have a good night.
You too. Janky, it's from the book Unwanted. Part of what he wrote this book on was a study that he did where he surveyed. I can't remember the exact name. It was a pretty in-depth study. 3,800 people, 2,700 were male, 1,000 were female. All different races, sexual orientations, ages from 18 to 65 plus. So yeah, this book is the study, basically. Unwanted.
Hi.
Janky, just buy the book if you're interested, or go look at it. Hey there, what's going on? Oh, do you have a smoke detector that the battery's chirping at you? Did I hear that?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
it is.
we haven't had this in a while. How long's that been happening for?
Just for a week.
Just a week? How much longer are you going to live
Yeah.
like that?
Honestly, it doesn't bother me. I kind of got used to it.
Kind of got used to it.
Um,
It's better that way, isn't it?
Not really.
All right,
Um,
what's up?
I think porn's cheating
Okay. Why?
because I went through a relationship where porn was a problem, and something that I noticed is that if that, for example, like most of the girls that come on here and they say they're okay with their partner watching porn.
Are you
I don't
18 or
know if
over?
yeah, I'm 23.
Okay, thank you.
I have a girly voice, I know.
That's good.
And I have an accent. English is not my first language. But I noticed that most of the girls that come in here are saying that it's okay for their partner to watch it, that they're okay. I feel like they don't sound like they're really okay. I feel like they're just pretending. I feel like most of the girls who come to the conclusion that as long as they know it's not cheating, it's because they're protecting their own feelings of feeling betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for me, my boyfriend, he would watch porn, and at the beginning of the relationship, I did not know about this. And when I found out in the worst way possible. Um, for he tried for me to watch it with him. We were together, and he popped the question randomly if I was into that kind of stuff, and I told him like, no, like I'm not. And then he's like, I feel like you're lying or whatever. He thought I was just playing shy. And he popped up his phone and he was like, I want to watch it with you. And for me, deep down, I was not okay with it. But I did not want to say no to him. I wanted to be like the cool girlfriend, that one that's like open to do anything with him. So I decided to go with it. And I was like, sure, fine. And we chose a random video. And to me, it was like a big heartbreak because the fact that he was like looking at the girl on the screen, and like what I hate about the hub or whatever is that most of the girls have like these bodies that are so unreal. Like most of them are plastic, most of them are like too perfect. And for us girls, they make us, like, for me personally, it kind of hurts my ego a little, if I have to be sincere. Like, I'll find myself comparing to the girl I'm seeing on the screen, and knowing just seeing the way he was looking at the girl on the screen, like, broke my heart. And I tried to play it cool. I didn't say anything, and I remember I decided, like, if we start kissing and doing stuff, he's eventually gonna stop looking at the screen. and I'm not gonna have to have this uncomfortable talk about him stopping. But it kind of broke my heart because he would not. We started kissing, we started doing stuff, and he would not stop looking at the screen. At no moment would he stare at me, and I tried to get his attention, and he would just keep looking at the screen. And after that, like our relationship just fell apart. And I'm just saying this because most of the men that say it's okay, like I want you to understand the perspective of a woman who's against it. Like you're breaking her heart. You're making her feel invaluable, and you're making her feel like she's not enough for you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. How long after that did the relationship keep going on for?
Um, it lasted a little longer just because after I showed my discomfort, he seemed like very regretful. He was like, "I'm really sorry. Like I didn't realize that it was bothering you, that bothered you. Like when it was happening, I thought you were okay with it." And I told him like, "No, like I'm not okay with this stuff. Like it made me really uncomfortable. Like you broke my heart." And he seemed like he regretted it a lot, and we both agreed the porn was not going to be part of our relationship. And I noticed, I noticed that once you okay one thing, once he steps out of a boundary and you forgive him, he's gonna keep testing how many other boundaries he can break, and you'll forgive. Because after that, I started noticing. Before that happened, I would have never suspected would have never suspected him of cheating. I would have never like thought about him lusting over other women or being into other women. Like that never crossed my mind. But after that, I became very insecure. So I started like stalking his social media, seeing what accounts he followed, seeing what girls he would follow, what would he give likes to. And after that day, that's the first thing I did. I went on his Instagram and saw his following, and I saw he was following a lot of Instagram models who were like share thirst straps and all that, like videos dancing, and that was really hurtful to me. And then I started like investigating his likes, seeing what he would give, what kind of posts he would like, and I noticed that most of them were like girls, showing their body, girls in bikinis, and that just broke my heart. And after
Yeah,
that,
yeah. The problem is you can't compete with that. Like nobody can compete with it because it's not real.
yeah, and I brought it up that I did not like his following or his likes or whatever, and he said like he was really defensive about it, but he ended up unfollowing the accounts. But later on the relationship, I asked him if I could check his Instagram, because I don't know if you know the explore page on Instagram will show things you're most likely to click, because those are the things that you spend most of the time watching. Like for example, if I go on my explore page, there's a lot of memes, flowers, fashion. So I asked to check his Instagram to make sure, because I noticed this. So I was like, I want to see what he's looking at while going through Instagram. And the same models he unfollowed were there on the explore page. And it was just a bunch of girls. So I realized that he did not stop lusting, he did not stop watching porn. And we had a big fight about it again. And whatever he said, he would work on it and that he would stop. And everything was great for a little while until I went through his phone, because my gut feeling kept telling me that he was not behaving, and something just told me like I feel like he's still doing it. I feel like he's still doing
And
it.
you guys broke up with you broke up with him, right?
After this point, I did break up with
Okay.
him.
Yeah.
I asked him if I could go through his phone, and he was confidently he gave it to me, and I went through it, and yeah, everything seemed fine.
And you
Ti-
yeah.
Till I went on Reddit, and there was girls there who would have their content, like their OnlyFans or whatever, and he sent messages to these accounts asking for prices
Hmm.
for meetups,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn. So like I realized that porn addiction can really go through can actually eventually become cheating. Like I feel like if a man could fulfill his fantasy of being with the girl he looks at the screen, he would do it. I mean, like if he had her in front of him, I'm pretty sure. Like if he had like one of those models he followed in front of him, and the girl was like willing to be with him, I'm sure he would be. I'm
So what
sure
are you
he
going to
would
do
do it.
differently going forward in your relationships?
Honestly, I'm a little traumatized by it. Honestly, going to a new relationship scares me. I'm scared about having to have those uncomfortable conversations again. I'm scared about finding even worse stuff, about going through like having the same problem. Like it's just hard for me to trust a man again.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
And
Having those uncomfortable conversations is crucial. It has to be, you have to be willing to have those conversations in relationship, whether there's porn involved or not. But
yes, and I'm
yeah,
scared about them lying like he did to me, and that he was still doing it secretly, and kept
yeah,
reassuring me that he was not doing it, but he was. And if it wasn't cheating, then why is this? If it's not cheating, then why is it so hard for him not to do it? Like if your girlfriend is not okay with it, then why is it so hard for you to just not do it? And I feel like that's what makes it cheating.
yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. Sorry you went through that. And I would feel a lot better for you if you change your smoke detector battery.
I will.
There it is again. I'm just kidding, but I'm not. Thanks for sharing. Sorry you went through that, and it's an opportunity to say, you know what, I want to commit to having these conversations going forward that are going to be tough for the sake of the relationship. So
Yeah, but it's really hard because I feel like nowadays men make it seem like it's a normal thing. Like, oh,
yeah,
every guy does it.
there's a lot of stuff that our world is trying to tell us is normal, but we don't have to agree with them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I won't go into the specifics of what I have in mind, but just read the news. All right. Thanks for sharing.
All right, thank you.
All right. Bye bye. Oh, dang it. Where'd that guy go who kept on saying, hold on. Are you still here? Dorsey? Dorsey, you still here? Or however you say your name? Dorchy? I was going to bring you up. What's up, Brandy? Dorchy, if you're here, request again. I want to talk to you. Hey, what's going on? Hello. I saw your comments, bro. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Doing pretty great.
Good. Are you 18 or over?
I'm 28.
All right. Is porn cheating?
I don't think it is at all. I am hearing certain stories that seem like slightly traumatizing, so I can understand why certain people have like a certain opinion if they've been through certain things or have a certain look on porn. But for me personally, I don't really think it is, like at all. I actually think it's healthy for people to want to use so. I think it's normal for people to want to, use it. I think it's a safe solution to allow people to use and do so. If people are using porn because they have certain addictions, or I could just leave it at that. They have certain addictions and are looking for like a certain outlook, or have like, like a certain look they're going for, and then afterwards go and seek more like communicating. And one girl said something in the comments about, you know, it's not cheating as long as you're not paying for it, or like you're not paying for like an OF account. And if you're not like paying for it, like, and also I will say this, I'm in a very open relationship. I'm pan and bisexual, and I know that they're basically like the same thing, but I just say that because
What is
I
pansexual?
pansexual is basically like you accept everyone for who they are, what they are, and what they choose to be and do with whatever they choose to do with their life. That's just you love
Everything?
them. Yeah, you love them as a person. Like let's say I know you in person. I love you for you. I don't love you for the way you look. I don't love you for your aesthetics or anything. I love you because you're an amazing person, and that's all I care about.
Okay. Can I ask you some
You-
questions?
Of course.
Well, there's a saying I like saying a lot. Two things can be true.
I
Like I
agree.
can love somebody and think something that they do is reprehensible.
What do you
Would you
mean
agree with
by
that?
what do you mean by reprehensible?
Unaliving somebody else. Doing sex things to somebody that's not consensual. Doing sex things to somebody who's underage.
So SA.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're doing stuff like that, that's not okay. That I don't agree with, like, at all. Like, if you're that
How does that
addicted,
how does that fit with how you describe pansexual?
what do you mean?
How does that fit with how you described? You gave the definition of pansexual. How does that
That like
how do
I
those two
love
things
everyone for
coexist?
them being an amazing, like, if you're not an amazing person, I don't have to have love for you. I'm not just running around the world being like, oh my God, I love everyone. No, like I obviously I have a tribe and or circle, whatever you want to call it, of like people I choose to have in my life. And I'm saying in general,
So
I don't
so I
go
just
out, hold
googled
on, because in general, I don't
pansexual.
go out into the
Pan
world. I don't go
Pansexual
out into
is
the
a
world
romantic or
just,
emotional or sexual attraction to people of all genders or regardless of
mhm,
their gender identity.
yeah.
That,
That's why,
so,
like, when you were talking about like the SA experiences, I didn't really know where that like came into play with my
well,
sexual
you're
orientation.
yeah, the definition you gave of pansexual is not what I'm reading here.
I mean, I didn't give the word for word dictionary definition, yes, but I gave a summary of how I feel about it. But yeah, you just read the definition of it, which I think is still pretty like accurate to what I just said. Like, I love
Okay.
everyone. It doesn't matter what their gender is. It doesn't matter what their sexual orientation is. Like, if they're my friend, if they're someone I choose to keep in my
But that's
life
not
and
that's
around.
what I'm you're talking about how you
Are
love
you
people
speaking
like
about
how
just
you
partnership?
well I'm looking at the definition of pansexual. It's a sexual,
Mm-hmm.
romantic, or emotional attraction to people of all genders. You're talking about like what I'm hearing is like your worldview of how you view people.
Mm-hmm.
Is pansexual a worldview or a sexual
It can
orientation?
be.
It
It
can be
can
a
be.
worldview.
I mean, if you want to talk about just the sexual orientation, we can just talk about that. But in general, I guess I was speaking like in general of life and like every day.
Okay, I'm
You're looking
confused.
something else up?
I'm looking at how it could fit as a worldview,
Okay.
which I don't really see. I mean, I'm quickly googling this, but
That's fine.
anyways, okay. So you're bi and pansexual.
Mm-hmm.
How did we get here? You don't think porn is cheating? Are you
No.
monogamous?
I'm in like a sturdy 5-year relationship, and I tell my boyfriend all the time, like I've had threesomes like prior to dating him, and they were
Are you
great.
monogamous?
Like, am I loyal to him? Yes.
Are you monogamous? Like where
I don't
you're
really know
just
that exact, because you're going off based off of exact definition, so I don't really want to give you an exact answer not knowing the actual definition, respectfully.
okay, monogamous. The practice or state of being in a relationship with one person at a time.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm in a relationship with one person right now. Yes.
got it. So you guys don't have other people in your relationship. That would not be
No.
acceptable.
We're not opposed to it. God forbid, like, it someone ever comes our way that is open to our lifestyle and whatever. We're not opposed to it, but that's something that me and him would both agree on.
Did you? Yeah, somebody in the comments just said this, and I thought I heard you say it earlier too. Did you say you're in an open relationship?
I wouldn't say that because like me and him are very loyal to each other. But
No, I'm
am
just
I
asking you if I
open?
heard you right. I thought I
Am
heard you
I?
earlier say
I'm saying
you're
that
in an
I am
open
open.
relationship, and
I'm
everybody in the
saying that I am
chat saying they
open
heard
to
the same.
having. Was it? What was that?
Everybody in the chat said that they heard the same thing, that you're in an open relationship.
No, I'm open to having like more than one partner as long as we're all in the same partnership.
Got it. But for right now, you guys are just monogamous.
Yeah,
What's your?
because that
Can I ask you what
opportunity
your?
hasn't came.
Yeah, got it. Can I ask you what's your gender identity?
She, her. Like my gender,
Those
I'm
are
a
your
girl.
those are your pronouns, aren't they?
Like I'm a girl, yeah. Like I'm a female.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. So is porn cheating?
No, not in my opinion, because I this whole live is basically going based off of opinion. So no, in my opinion, I do not think it's cheating. I have my own little collection of toys, and my partner actually supports it. He's very open to it. He's bought the majority of my collection, and like we've watched it together. It's nothing that like we're like, oh my God, like I don't look at it as cheating at all. It's not, it's nothing. Like at the end of the day, like they don't know these people. If you do whatever you need, like if I'm on vacation or if I'm at work or he's at work and like you need to do what you need to do, go ahead, shorty. Do whatever you need to do. I love that. I love that for you. Like it is what it is. Like me and him, like we're great. Like this is honestly the best relationship I've ever had in my life.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
I did have a question for you though.
Oh, sure.
So are you like are you like a professional like coach? Like you have like your like license and stuff?
What license? There's no
Because it
coaching
said,
license. I'm a coach. Yes, I'm a professional coach.
yeah. I mean like I will say like expressive wise, like you are like very professional with handling like certain comments and like conversations 100%. So that like I tip my hat off to you. I was just very curious because like you're handling this live like very well.
Oh,
Like you're being
thank
like
you.
very professional. Like I'm just like giving you kudos. And like we don't have to agree, which is fine. I'm just saying like I feel like the topic, it's like okay for us to agree or disagree type
Totally.
situation.
I'm not here to
Yeah.
look for agreement. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
there's certain like people in the comments that are kind of like if we're not agreeing,
yeah,
it's like
I just love trying to get to the bottom of the truth of what people believe. Yeah, and let that be
so
that. That's it.
so can I ask why you think like it is cheating?
Sure. Yeah, I think if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person, you've said something like I love you, only you, mind, body, and
Mm-hmm.
soul, till death do us part, something like that. If you deviate from that, whether it's using another person on a screen or otherwise, I think that goes against the agreement or commitment that was made and is therefore cheating.
Well, I don't believe I said only you, and if I did, I didn't mean only you. I have love for multiple people. Like for example, like I love my grandparents, I love my mom. Like
I
to
do
sit here
too,
and
but
say
I
I
don't
have like,
masturbate to them.
well, right, duh, I don't either. That'd be fucking weird. But in general, like I was just referring to like the only you part, because like again, like when I was like talking about like my
Yeah,
my
yeah. So then
sexuality
you
and like how I view the world and the beings around me, that's just how I go about that. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
feel like
I'm hearing you're kind of, and maybe it's just how I'm hearing it, but you're kind of conflating sexual orientation and how you choose to view people generally and love people, have love for
well,
people.
because I feel like sexual orientation comes with like almost everyday living. It comes with kind of like how you choose to treat people, how you go about your day, whether you know you like there's so many different oh, sorry, you just got gifted, I think.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I just think there's like so many different ways that like you can look at it, but as long as like whoever relationship is their relationship, how like if you guys agree that you know like I think at the end of the day it comes down to like boundaries and what people are okay with. Um if me like for example, me and my partner, we're okay with it. You know, if anything like if we find out or like catch each other doing it, we kind of just like giggle or laugh or like make the fun out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing like in other people's like circumstances, just like in your live and or like you know other stories I've heard that you know maybe their experience with a certain person wasn't the best and or like just straight up traumatizing, and I personally feel like that has a lot to do with like obviously their views on it. I feel like it shouldn't be shamed upon because there are like actual like certain people that like people don't know about certain medical issues. There's like certain medical issues like when you have like too much testosterone and like you
Yeah, but
literally
I don't. What medical issue would necessitate masturbating while watching strangers have sex on a screen?
I was just trying to explain that.
No, I got it.
I don't know
but
the exact
you're
medical
talking about
term, but these are people
masturbation.
that are also like been married for years and like
I
it can
I got it.
happen
I
like
got it.
when you get older.
I got it. What I would offer is it's possible to masturbate or to ejaculate without looking at strangers have sex on a screen.
I mean, yeah, if you don't want to look at a stranger, that's fine. You know, I again, I don't know these people. I ain't never met one person I watched on a video, but you know, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go ahead.
So what would be like? I know. I would just say with somebody with kind of your point of view, I would just say you're not as monogamous as you think you are, because you're letting other people into your relationship, even though they're on a screen. You guys are getting sexual pleasure from other people, right?
Okay.
So my question is, what would be more honoring to your partner or for your partner towards you? Just looking at you or having you be their the sexual fulfillment, or having you and
I
other
mean, we
people
have
be
done
your
that.
sexual
Like
fulfillment?
the majority, like we don't have videos because I'm awkward when it comes to that. But like we both have like nice photos of each other. I've done like boudoir shoots for him and stuff. Like he
I got
does
it.
all
I'm
that.
just wondering what would be more honoring. What would be the most honoring thing for one another?
Respect, honesty, truth. My biggest thing in life is why lie when the truth is way more fun.
Yeah, I got that. But when it comes to sex, what would be more honoring? To just have you be the object of his look?
To call me an
Like,
object is crazy.
no, I didn't call you an object. I'm sorry. As soon as I said that, I realized I didn't.
Shit.
I'm not using that word in the sense of objectification. Okay, I'm an object in terms of fixation. Right. Touche for calling me out on that. Right. So what would be more honoring, to have you be the one who he looks at only, or to look at you and many other people for his sexual pleasure?
I mean, he's literally awake behind me, but like I don't understand how it would be honoring and or dishonoring if me and him both don't look at it as like any form of disrespect or cheating. So like he can do whatever.
Well,
Like me
let
and
me ask
him,
it to you like this: do you have parents?
yes.
Okay, so like, what would be more honoring for your dad just to look at your mom and be like, and I have no idea if your parents are married or alive or divorced or
That's
whatever,
fine.
but for your dad to look at your mom and be like, she's the one, or for him to be like, I have her and I masturbate to all these other women as well. What would be more honoring?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask that question to realistically, because I'm still gonna say at the end of the day, like, porn is porn. It's been, or
Yeah, that's
it
fine.
is what
But
it
what would be
is.
more?
Like,
I don't care where you're at. Which one do you think would be more honoring?
I don't really care, is what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
Well,
as a personal
even if you don't
person,
care, if you were to just say, hey, this one would be more honoring versus the other one,
I
what do you
don't
think?
really think either. I don't really think either one is. I think, like, if we're really gonna talk about sex in general, the act of sex technically is considered dirty, dishonoring, and like so many different forms. I I don't understand how, like, my one thing I wanted to point out is I don't understand how, like, I understand you're talking about like when you're in a relationship, but prior to being in a relationship, like when we were kids and we were like experimenting and stuff, and watching these videos, or if it makes you uncomfortable or something, that's your own issue. But there are certain people that, like, they don't use it for evil. They don't use it for bad. Like, they don't use it going into it like, oh, I gotta watch this because I'm not being satisfied, or I have to watch this because my wife or whoever isn't, doing everything that I need to be happy in the bedroom specifically. Like, I don't have that issue, so I don't know. I don't know if I can like answer that for you. Like my sex life is great. Like, I really can't. I don't. In general, as long as my sex life is great, and I guess if we're really gonna get that awkward, as long as my parents' sex life is great, um, as long as they're happy and their partner respects them and treats them great, and they both worship the ground that each other walk on, I don't really think that as long as we're not breaking each other's boundaries, which again, there's no real boundary besides actual cheating in my eyes. Like, cheating to me is like, again, secretly paying to have an account that, like, you're hiding from me, or physically and going out and doing the act, or emotionally talking to somebody. These are just videos that you're looking up online. I don't really feel like there's any emotional connection behind watching. That's like you can go on YouTube and people whack off to crazy weird stuff. It doesn't have to technically be porn. People have like crazy kinks. Like crazy kinks. Like, I try to sell feet pictures on the side, not saying anything, but people have weird kinks.
Do you do OF?
No, I don't.
Okay. But you sell feet pictures?
On a certain website, yeah.
What website? Where do you do that?
Feet Finder.
That's a thing?
You make real good money off of that. Just saying, you could do it too, boo.
I got size 15s. You think that would sell?
That is fine. Listen, I'm telling you. They take requests and everything. Listen, you
Oh
can
my
make
gosh.
money.
Oh my gosh. Feet
Just
Finder.
saying.
This is not a promotion, people. All right. Well, thank you for sharing. Nice chatting with you.
Thank you. Have a great night, love.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, Charlie. Mary, I saw you there. What's up? That kid, what's up? Hey, Dorchi, do you want to come on here? Dortex. What's up, Charlie? What's up, bro?
Hey, man, how are you?
Dude, it's been a while.
Long time no see, man. You're always smiling.
Yeah, what's up?
It's the real dude. Did you really wear a size 15?
Yeah. I'm a monster. I'm
That's
6'7".
That's how you're able to keep your relationship together. What are you, 7 feet tall?
I'm 6'7".
6'7"?
Yeah.
Did you
I'm
ever
tall.
play basketball?
No, did you play mini golf?
Yes. I'm into it. Get out of town. 6'7".
6'7", 79 inches,
Guess how tall I am?
5'10".
5'12".
5'12", 6 foot.
That's supposed to be funny.
I know. It was funny. I
It's
was
not.
one step ahead of you, though. Why did I think you were closer to my height? What are you, Cowboy Bunny Beep, like 5'3"? Guess how tall my wife is, Charlie. Guess how tall my wife is.
I respect you, so say, and I'll try to calm my nerves. Go ahead.
No, I'm asking you.
6'1".
No. Way off.
Higher or lower?
Higher. She's 7'4". No,
Wait,
I'm just
whoa,
kidding. I'm just
Are
kidding.
you taller?
She's in the low fives.
Okay, 5.
Quite a height difference. Oh,
5'2"?
I'm not going to specify. I'm not going to give out my wife's personally identifiable information. She wouldn't like that.
What
She's
am I
short,
gonna
though. We'll just say she's short. How you doing, man? What's going on?
I have tons of respect for you. Shout out to you. I just want to say hello.
All right.
And you're
Well,
my
thanks for
friend.
chatting. Yeah, we're bros.
Do you think they're really going to end the thing on January whatever?
TikTok? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know, man. I really hope not. If TikTok goes away, what am I going to do, people? You got to follow my YouTube. What am I going to do?
Follow his YouTube.
Follow. I mean, seriously, what do I do? What other platform can I just get people to come on and talk to me?
YouTube right now. What's your YouTube?
It's Porn Coach, PXRN Coach.
Gosh, I don't want to
Yeah.
say that out loud.
No, but
Porn
actually,
Coach.
for real, will you guys follow my YouTube? It's linked in my link tree right now. But what do I do?
Hey, just continue to do God's work.
Am I
man.
on Rumble? I think I'm on Rumble. Can you bring on guests on Rumble?
Yes.
I have Clapper. I'm on Clapper.
Clapper. That's a loaded word.
It is.
Clapping.
Can you bring what other platform can you bring guests on though, like TikTok?
Bands will make her dance.
I don't-
Bands will make her dance. These chicks clapping. Hey.
Oh,
All right, I'll
Charlie.
catch you next time.
All right, man. Good chatting with you. See ya.
All right.
All right. We share your YouTube on Facebook. Oh, you do? I post this is giving me a video panel at some point. Okay, well maybe we'll see. California Mary. You can follow me on all the platforms, but TikTok is my main platform. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how are you? Austin, there'll be a lot of litigation. It won't happen like that. It's
Yeah,
not
but the
gonna happen
deadline
like
the deadline is January something unless they sell to an American company, right?
Right. But I think that they'll work it out. I do. Because a lot of people will be unemployed.
Court
But,
upholds
maybe they
U.S.
wanna-
ban on TikTok unless it finds a buyer. TikTok faces U.S. ban after losing bid to overturn new law. A TikTok ban seems more likely. What that means for everyday users. That's from Forbes.
Yeah.
10 hours ago.
I still think, only 10 hours ago?
Yeah. So you're telling me to disregard this article and instead listen to California Mary on
I'm
TikTok?
not telling you that, but I think that it'll be mayhem not mayhem, but it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, but think about it. Elon Musk is about to take office. He owns Twitter.
I know.
So, I mean, although he loves free
Oh,
speech.
that's right. It worked out perfect. Yeah. Golly.
Yeah.
How's this live been going? I've been working on these hours. I'm actually at my lunch.
It's great. They're all great.
Oh, good.
No,
I'm
I can
glad.
put out to the people in the comments. I can put out content on the other platforms, but I can't do this. Like I can't just get guests to come on,
live.
right? I know some people do that using Discord, but my Discord is not. I haven't built it up to be that type of platform, so I don't know. I got to figure something out though, because it's what I do now. So I'll have to create different content for different platforms, but I'll adjust.
Yeah, and then when something like this, something like this will come. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean,
So
Clapper
just keep
is
your-
kind of like this.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I never heard of that. I'm going to check it out.
It's
Is
literally like TikTok, but it's called Clapper. And it's actually owned by ByteDance, which owns TikTok.
Oh my. Okay, well, I just wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
good to see you.
we'll just keep your content on the other places so that you don't lose followers.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, take it easy.
All right. You too. Bye. I take that back. TikTok, ByteDance does not own Clapper. Clapper is owned by, it's a US based company. All right. What is Lemon 8? D, what's up, man? You subscribed on YouTube. Thank you. I think I got lemonade. Brandy, did you mean to request? I gotta pee again. Hold on. What's your Bigo? All right. Hey, Dorsey, see, I want to talk to you. How do I say that person's name? Dortex. Well, I just accepted you, Brandy. All right, I'll kick you off. That new season of Fortnite, it's fire, though. I really like it. Hello, Cal. Let me join. 8 months today, that kid. Let's go. See, people? When there's a will, there's a way. When there is a will, there is a way. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you 18 or over?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Okay, what's going on?
I just wanted to go like on kind of I agree, obviously, but like the last person, I had like some questions.
Okay, what questions?
Like I just want to know like do they not find an issue in their boyfriend or partner lusting over other women?
Well, that last person didn't. No,
Yeah,
certain people don't.
I just don't. I get you can have your own opinion, but genuinely, it is so bad for any relationship. And I just wanted to say, like, kudos to you. Like, it's amazing that you're trying to get that out there and, like, trying to help people with that because I've experienced it in my relationship and it's definitely caused me trauma and trusting. And it's not something to joke around about. It's a serious topic that a lot of people don't want to come to terms with, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know,
Who said I'm 14? I'm not 14.
don't
I'm
read the
not
comments.
14.
They're rarely
I'm
helpful.
not 14.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do a lot of things that are puzzling to a lot of people, right? And you know, if you've lived on planet Earth for any amount of time, there's a reason. I mean, there's a reason why we have so much chaos in our world, in my opinion.
I think it's very immature. Also, reading the comments for boys or men to say that women are insecure for not allowing that or wanting that in a relationship. Because I feel like if you are dedicated to your partner, if you are marrying your wife, if you are with your partner and you are one-on-one monogamous, you're not going out having an open relationship, I definitely don't think you should be lusting after other women. Also, I wanted to say the girl that was on last, she said that she did like boudoir pictures and everything. Like, your man has things of you and he's still going after other people online.
Yeah.
Like, how is that? How do you find that okay? I get boundaries are different, but I don't think you should succumb and just be okay with your man doing that. And I don't think it's healthy if both of you are watching that stuff. You can try things out together. You don't have to make videos together, obviously. I mean, personally, it's whatever you're comfortable with, but there's no reason you should have to go and look. You are openly looking at other people. You are typing in a website, you are going to Twitter, you're going to Reddit. And a lot of these people, they hide it. Like, they don't want their partner seeing because they know it's an issue. They know that what they're doing is bad. And so many men as well, I know women go through porn addiction as well, but many of them, like the guilt they feel after, so they know what they're doing is wrong and they still continue to do it. And I think they should have some awareness and understand that it is a actual issue and they need help a lot of times. Like, so my boyfriend, I'm still with him. Something has happened. He had a porn addiction and he hasn't watched it. Like, he admitted to fault. He went through all of this stuff, and it changes people a lot. Like, it really affects them. And if you choose to stay, that's you. If you think that they can change, if you truly think they can change, I think if they want to change, they have to be the one that wants it. They can't change for you. You know, they have to want to change. And if you choose to leave, that's definitely okay, because it causes so much trust issues within a relationship. And I just wanted to say, like, I'm so thankful that there's people like you out there that want to help, because it's so bad being on the other side of it, I guess, like having to receive it, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all I
Yeah.
wanted to say. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Krista, you said something. What did you say earlier that I was laughing? I don't know. Give me a follow if you guys don't follow me yet, if you like my content. Almost at 35,400, just in time for TikTok to get shut down in a month. And then I'll have to go rebuild on another platform. But that's okay. Sharp Knight, you there? One day I will be brave enough and request. You did request. You're here. Now you're on. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi. No, I didn't mean right now. I'm with the kids.
What you requested.
Did I do that? I don't even know how to work this actually.
Okay. Do you not want to talk, or do you want to talk?
Maybe I'll pass. I'll keep listening. I'll do that.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay.
When are Chinese EVs getting banned? Who knows? Dorchy, come on, man. Let's go. Dorchy. Yeah, we haven't been promoting the backup. Actually, thanks for the reminder of that, kid. The backup is almost at 1,000. I only need 10 more followers, so thank you. Will you guys... follow my backup? Will you guys follow Austin Hamilton right there, please? I need 10 more followers so I can get to 1,000. which allows me to do other things on that account. Just 10 more. 10 more. It's this one, Austin Hamilton. How do I, there. This is very hard. Austin Hamilton, follow that guy. Thank you. Love to share my story. Okay, I'll bring you on next, Moke. Hey there, what's going on? Miss Jackson?
Oh.
Hey there. You're talking about porn on TikTok.
Oh my
Miss
gosh, I did
Jackson.
this on accident. Sorry.
Well, now that you're here,
I don't know how to get out of here.
now that you're here, somebody watches porn. Is it him? Hey guys, you're talking about porn on TikTok.
Hold on a second.
What do you think? Is porn cheating? Hello? What kind of porn do you watch?
Hello?
You watch porn? Hello.
No. So I just wanted to get your overall take on it. Is it okay or is it not?
Is what okay?
You
Porn?
find it normal or not? Yes.
Do I find it normal to masturbate while watching strangers have sex on the internet? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Yes.
No, I don't find that normal. I think it's
Okay.
common. I think it's very common. I don't think it's normal.
Yeah. Me neither.
What do you think?
Okay. See, just checking. I just want to find out what strangers think about it, or what other
Okay.
people think about it.
What does that guy in the background think about it?
And he thinks it's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
What do
so.
you think about it?
I think it's not fine.
So, but it's different when we watch it together. Oh. We watch
Are
it
you-
together, though.
For you.
For me? Well, I don't ask for it. You do. Paul,
Let me talk to him. Put him on. Let me talk to him.
He's right here.
I'm not. I don't.
No, he doesn't want to talk.
Are you guys
He doesn't
married?
wanna talk. Everybody
You guys
else can
married?
come
Dating?
No, we're dating. We've been dating,
You're dating?
for 7 years. Mhm.
You're dating for 7 years and he watches porn and you don't like it.
Right.
But you watch it together
Like,
sometimes?
He said no. I put it on because I like to get him because I know it excites him. I don't put it on for myself. No, you know that.
Bro, why do you need other women when you have her?
Because she doesn't give it to me all anytime. It's like, it's like maybe like once in a way blue moon.
How often do you want it? How often does he want it?
I would take it
all
at least
the
twice
time.
a week. That would be amazing if I could get it. Maybe once a week would be good too.
Okay. And what about you, miss?
She only gives it to me when she's drinking and gets a buzz. There's never sober sex.
Oh my God.
No, you want
Is-
to put me out there. There's never sober sex anymore. Plain and
Is that
simple.
true?
Yes.
Has this been going how long has this been going on for? 7 years?
I would rather not watch porn and have sex with my lady if it would be, you know what I mean, intimate. It's just she don't have to be drunk every time to get, to be with me. I ask her the time. So,
What
yeah.
is it? What is it about him? What is it about him that makes it so you don't want to do it?
Oh, me? I
Yeah,
just don't
you.
have any. I don't have any urge to do it. I have a birth control, and it kind of like doesn't give me any stimulation or anything.
Which I'm also going to get a
And I told him
vasectomy.
if I could take the birth control out,
And what am I
then
doing?
maybe I would get my libido or whatever it is back. But he's not. He's not.
What?
Doing the whole thing. He's trying to get the whole.
I'm getting
Surgery.
I'm getting the surgery.
Do you guys
Yeah,
have
then I can
kids?
take the birth control out. Yeah.
Yeah, we have she has a bunch of I got a bunch of kids.
A bunch of kids. You muted. You turned your kid. You muted. All right. So you guys are great, by the way. So how long has this been going on for?
Almost 7 years.
No.
So
No,
since
not
you
7
started dating?
No. Oh, I thought you meant our relationship. Oh, I didn't mean like since I kind of lost. I don't have any interest in it anymore, and now he's moved on to other things.
What do you guys like about each other?
I mean, I
love
like.
that she's
You cut out again.
Together, we enjoy each other's company. We love each other, but it's just like we're always tired. I'm always exhausted.
I mean, it doesn't help when
I
we get
work a
stressed
lot.
out. We have 4 kids at home that stresses out really, really bad, and we take it out on each other. And then I think that also ruins the night, and then that's probably why sometimes.
Billy, I cook amazing, so that's
It must be her
definitely not the
cooking.
reason. I am half black. I know how to cook.
Hold on, she's an amazing fucking cook.
Yeah.
All right.
Billy, you can shut up.
TikTok definitely goes through all the
So,
recipes.
so Miss Jackson, if it were up to you, how often
Yes.
would it be?
I think 2 or 3 times a week.
2 or 3 times a week? But he said he wants it like 1 or 2 times a week. You want it more than him?
All I'm asking also too is, I've always asked her a few times. Sober sex would make me feel good about myself. Not every time do you have to be drinking. To make it feel like you still love me. You know, that's it.
Are you there?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
keep
I'm
cutting
here.
away. Do you love him?
My daughter's trying to call me. Again, we're being bothered by our kids. It never ends.
Yeah, you need to learn how to put that phone on silent and get down to business.
Right? And then that's when I get down to bed. I'm tired.
And then you fall asleep.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man.
I think it might just be the I think it might be the birth control.
How long have you been on birth control?
With this specific birth control, like 5 years.
It was so important.
Well, it's like a 3-year and then another 3-year birth control, and I just got it again, so it's been about a year with this.
And I'm going to get snipped. So I gotta just set my doctor's appointment up, and that's it.
Bro, do it tomorrow. What's taking you so long? She'll get off the birth control?
Thank you. That's probably the reason I don't have any urge to do anything, and also I'm tired from these kids.
So chat, who's on birth control and doesn't have this problem? I see at least one person says it does, but
I
I'm
see
curious.
another girl that said birth control ruined my libido. Hold on.
But why does drinking make you? I get that.
Because it makes you
It's
lose. Drinking
drinking
is what.
stimulates? I don't understand.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I mean?
does. Yeah.
What's the difference with that? You can only get horny when you drink it.
Oh my gosh. And we're on. You had a. I don't know.
I'm just
I don't know what you can say and what you can't say on here.
I don't get it.
So how much porn do you watch, man? How many times a week do you watch porn?
Not a lot. I literally sometimes I don't even for a whole week. Like that was just like I felt like I wasn't having no sex and whatever. Yeah.
You want to close
said
that
less
door
than-
because
less
you're
than once,
so
twice a
loud.
week.
The whole house could probably hear this conversation.
Well, soak in the whole internet, so I think you're fine.
That's why I didn't want to do this. Okay, there's only 211 people in here, so I think we're okay, right?
I think you're okay. Probably more people in your neighborhood can hear you.
Right, exactly. Unless somebody screen reports.
What do you guys do for a living?
So I do transportation, and he works for what's that? What do you even do? What is it called?
You don't even know what he does.
No, I mean.
I work with a carpenter. We do handicap accessible bathrooms.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's not even the jobs; it's the kids. Because when I come home, they exhaust me. And I'm like feeding, cooking, cleaning, laundry, and then I'm like exhausted by the time I get done. So I'm not even thinking about that.
How old are
Like,
your
no,
kids?
it's not even on my radar.
Yeah. How old are they?
So I have and you're gonna think I'm stupid. I have 2 adults that are still living at home because they can't get their shit together, but they're trying. My daughter has a full-time job, and she's general manager now. My son, he's
Okay,
just
I
a
said
little
how old are the kids, not the adults who are living with you.
Oh, okay. So they're 4, then 4, 12, and then we have a 15-year-old, and then the rest are over
4. My son's 5.
4.
Shut
So
the F up. He
He
just
doesn't even
turned
know my own
5.
son's name. He's 5 years old. Okay.
Okay, I'm a little nervous because I'm on live. Leave me alone.
so your youngest is 5. Those are you you barely even have young kids at home.
No, I know, but I mean, 5 is kind of young.
So what's the real reason why you guys aren't intimate?
That is the I'm just tired, and the birth control.
That's what I'm saying, bud. Out.
5 is young. 5 is young for sure. But she made it sound like she's got like 4 under 4.
Oh no. So basically, it's I basically should because they act very needy.
Yeah, they're
Very
kids.
needy. Yes.
Yeah.
No, they're
Hey,
very, they're very
ask him. What do you want to be different in your marriage, bro?
I mean, it's not even just an intimate. It's like more just companionship, getting along. Sometimes not feeling like she's strong, and I love that she's strong, but she always tries to do the alpha stuff and tell me. And it's like we're supposed to both work together. I've told her this plenty of times. You know, and every day I wake up, it's a new complaint of what I've done wrong. And I try to tell her, hey, is there anything positive? Because there is sometimes I'm an asshole. I already know this. I could be an asshole, but there are sometimes, like today, I catered, made her and her sister dinner, took care of the whole family, barbecued, did everything. But just wanted to, you know what I mean? I don't want recognition all the time. I just want to feel like, hey, I'm doing something right here.
Okay.
I think it's important.
What are you wanting different, Miss Jackson?
some time.
We got our kids spazzing out.
Just some time, but I gotta go help my daughter.
Yeah, we got the older ones.
Hers
flipping out.
car won't start or something.
All right, guys. Hey, great chatting with you. Great chatting with you. Stop watching porn, man. Stop watching porn.
I know. I'd rather the second.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was, was amazing. It's probably one of my favorite guests I've ever had. Oh, man. Who wants to follow that? Oh, Amanda Reed. We're going to follow with another great act. Hey, give me a follow on my backup account if you guys wouldn't mind. Austin Hamilton, right there.
Hey,
Appreciate
Sugar
it.
Booger, how are you?
Hey, Amanda, what's going on?
Literally couldn't help but just pop in and say hi. You already know how I feel about porn is cheating.
I know how you feel about it. Yep, sure do.
Yeah, that last couple was absolutely fucking hilarious. Birth control absolutely does lower your libido, and alcohol is definitely a mood enhancer, depending on the liquor and the people. I've had both situations. I almost went to jail one night with too much tequila, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, what's new in
have
your
a
world?
question.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's new in your world? What's your question?
Christmas shopping is hell. I hate Walmart. Yeah, not a whole lot. When they said, I'm not gonna lie to you though. I'm gonna be real for a second, okay? Like when they said 2 to 3 times a week, listen, I know I'm a whore, all right? But I don't need it verified to me on the free goddamn internet, okay? Like when they said 2 to 3 times a week, I was like, damn, I have it 7 to 9, Jesus. Like, am I doing it too much? Am I weird? Is there a problem here? I don't feel like there's a problem here, but then again, I'm a hoe, so I wouldn't know.
Well, you got so many partners,
You're
though.
a sour
It makes
person.
it makes it
Like,
easy.
Why are you so sour? I have to ask that.
I've been trying
in
to
real
talk to
time.
Dorsey all night. Dorsey,
Why
get on
are
here.
you so sour? Is it because you haven't been laid? Baby, there's toys for that on the internet, and they'll put up with your bullshit.
All right, 7 to 9. How do you do that? Yeah, I mean, I know you got at least 2 partners, right?
Actually, it's just with my husband. Once a night before bed, and on weekends, we have it try to have it at least twice.
Okay. Dude, that's a lot of work. Good for you.
Not really. It's actually a lot of fun if you enjoy who you're doing it with.
That's true. How many kids do you have again?
I have 2, and I have a tubal ligation, and he's got a vasectomy because this factory's closed.
Oh, 7-9. Okay, great. Well,
Yeah.
maybe if you would take what you're saying to what that couple's wanting, they could probably meet right there in the middle at 3 to 5.
I mean, absolutely. And listen, like, it's birth control's a motherfucker. I don't blame her. And raising kids is hard, right? We fit ours in literally right before bed when the kids are down, right? So getting all them schedules aligned and all that mess, like, that shit's hard.
How
Poor
long does
babies,
it
bless
take?
their heart,
How long
it's
does it
rough out
take?
there.
Like start to finish. How long does it take?
Oh, about 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay. That's a commitment right before bed.
Hey, listen, timing is everything, right?
But it's worth it.
Absolutely.
Got to have that connecting time.
And we still do that and look at artistic porn. But I can understand why, like, porn is such an issue because it can lead to, like, lack of intimacy. It can lead to boundaries being broken. There's a whole lot of nasty things that can happen. Like, and it's so insidious because of how the porn industry really treats people. If you actually look into the down and the dirty of porn, it's awful how some of them are treated.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Women
Yeah.
are not for trust. Listen, if you can't even form a whole sentence structure right, I don't trust a word that comes out your phones.
Oh, I think there's a language barrier there.
Oh, there is a language barrier? Well, then I apologize, baby. That was rude as hell of me.
Well, just based on the way that the name looks. But all right, well, hey, thanks for sharing. Good chatting with you again.
Not a problem. I just wanted to come up and say hey and chit chat because you say who wants to come up after that, and I was like, of course I will.
Yeah, well, you're the only one who could have followed that act and brought back the main character energy. So we appreciate
All
it.
right. Well, you have a good night, sugar.
All right, see ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, some people can say things like that, and it just works. If somebody else called me sugar, I'd be like, nope. Where's Dorsey? Dorsey, you gonna get on here? Imagine you could, yeah. Hey there, what's going on? Hello. Oh, my backup made it to 1,000. Thank you for following me. Yes, it is. Jesus said, even if you look at a woman lustfully, he has committed adultery in his heart. Jesus did say that. Mama P Money? No? Give me a follow on my backup account if you guys wouldn't mind. Austin Hamilton, right there. Appreciate that. It's me. Hello. Hello. I'm everywhere. It's like Inception. Give me a follow. Follow me. Hey there, what's going on? Hello.
Hello, could you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Not too much. Is porn cheating? Oh, I should have said corn. My bad. I think everyone has different ways of looking at it. But in my experience, I've noticed that the same girls who say it's cheating are the ones who call men insecure or controlling for not wanting their girl to to dress inappropriately. That's the problem I see with it.
Wait, the same, you said the same, say it again?
Like the same girls who don't like men watching porn are the same ones who call men insecure on wanting their girl to dress inappropriately when they go out.
Okay.
So I think it's kind of like a little double standard there.
The same women who don't want the man to watch porn are the same ones who I'm confused. Sorry.
Yeah, so no, girls they'll call it cheating for watching porn. But like if a man has standards and they don't want their girl to go out and dress like a certain way, they'll be like, "Oh, you're insecure. You're
Oh, got it.
controlling."
Yeah. So a woman, you're saying a woman may think, not want a man to watch porn, but if the man says, "Hey, I don't want you to wear a certain thing when you're going out," they'll say that he's controlling.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Have you experienced that?
Um. Yeah, I did with one girl. But like I don't have a problem. Like I'm not like addicted to porn or anything. Like I see where they stand on that, but I just think if a man has standards, like that should be okay too.
How often do you watch porn?
Um, maybe like 2 times a week.
2 times a week?
Yeah.
Got it. Are you in a
But like,
relationship?
not currently.
Got it.
But if I had a girl, like if I was dating someone and she was around, like I'm not gonna do it then. It's just if they're away on vacation or something, or if she's got all stuff going on, I'm not gonna watch it.
Got it. Okay.
But
All
that's
right.
basically all I have. I gotta head out.
Okay.
Appreciate the talk.
Thanks for sharing, man. Bye.
Bye.
Charlie, you're back.
Yo, my boy.
What's up?
Okay, I wanted to ask you a question, but then I wanted to expand on what he said. What he was trying to say is women that have an issue with the men watching a lot. I feel like he was saying men aren't allowed to be insecure, but women are. And sometimes, I would say, if a woman doesn't want you to watch that, it's because she's insecure about her body or herself. She doesn't want you looking at other people, which that's good for her because that would decline the bond between.
Well, let me ask the chat. Chat, do you think that it's ever appropriate, that might not be the right word, acceptable for a man to request their partner not to wear a certain thing? Like the implication there is that it may be too scandalous, for example. That's the heart of what he was saying, right, Charlie?
Can I answer the question?
Sure.
For the chat? I think it depends on where it's coming from. If it's coming from insecurity, then you already lost the battle. But if it's coming from, I want long term with you, and I want you to respect our bond, then it's okay. But I just expounded on that guy. I wanted to ask you a very simple question. Does size matter?
Size of what?
Okay, Mr. 13 and a half. Did you think?
Eggplant? Size of eggplant?
Sure. Yes. Does it matter?
I don't know. Should we ask the chat?
No, I want to ask you, man. Is it the size of the boat or the motion of the ocean?
I think it's the motion of the ocean. What do you think?
Yeah, you are correct because I think if there's love involved, then the bedroom will go well, regardless of the boat. If she doesn't love you, then you're losing,
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a super under circle, then you're in big trouble, no matter if you're in love.
Okay, no, a micro can't even make it into the hole. Yeah, I think it's the motion of the ocean.
Really quick, if somebody has a diagnosed micro BP and the girl sticks around, that means she really loves that dude.
Yeah?
I'm left-handed.
Yeah. I can barely hear you. Your mic is covered up, by the way.
Pardon me. Well, good. I shouldn't hurt your virgin ears with this stuff. But shout out to you.
I've never heard any of
Tell
this
the
before,
people
by the
you
way.
love that you love them.
What's that?
Tell the people you love that you love them.
That's right.
I'll see you next time.
All right, later, bro.
Love you. Love you.
I didn't really see what people said about with wearing clothes, but whatever. All right, Kaylin, you've been waiting a long time. For nothing. Brandy, you keep. Oh, you actually want on?
Can you hear
Hey,
me?
yeah, what's up?
Okay, so I had a quick story about that. So, sorry if you can hear my Fortnite, but a couple of years ago, I had a good friend at the time, and her boyfriend were together for like 7 years. Well, she was never allowed to wear like certain outfits and stuff. Like he would always get mad at her about it, and she would always talk to me, and I could never relate because Matt would like one, I never dressed like that anyways, but Matt never commented about how I dressed. But anyways, she caught him messaging other girls on Snapchat, and the girl that he's now with like dresses like completely different. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just depends on the relationship, but I just thought that was kind of ironic that, and he was probably watching it the whole time and probably cheating on her the whole time.
Yeah, he was hiding something for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
that's just totally hypocritical.
Exactly.
What do you think? What do you
so-
think, though? Do you think that a man can request their girlfriend to not wear something?
Oh, I think so. Personally, I've never seen anything wrong with that. Like, again, I don't really dress inappropriately whatsoever, but I always ask Matt like if he feels that this is okay and stuff, and he's always very honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I would rather the honesty.
Yeah.
personally.
Well, and I think the key is request. Like,
Yeah.
a demand is a whole other story, but requesting.
Yes,
My wife tells me what
100%.
to wear all the time because if it was up to me,
Yeah.
I wear this shirt. There's a reason why you only see me ever wearing this shirt. I have like 10 of them. BuiltBasics.com.
Little silent plug real quick.
Silent plug, yeah. There's no affiliate relationship. I wore this to a funeral one time, to a wedding.
Nice.
Like I wear this everywhere.
Works for everything.
Same thing, same shirt, same shorts every day. I just have like 10 pairs. So
I love
sometimes
it.
she's like, Austin, really? You're going to wear that to the
But then
yeah,
you're never
yes, I am.
confused, and you
Never
yeah,
confused.
You
Yeah.
have your
It's like my
basics.
uniform. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
All
all
right.
I wanted to say. I'm like, that's kind of funny because I actually know somebody that did cheat in that circumstance. Like, he would always yell at her about what she would wear, and I'm like, dude, that's so weird. So,
Yeah. And then he's doing all that.
yeah. And she wouldn't dress inappropriately actually at all, really, ever. But his new girlfriend, always, every time I see her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I
All
wanted
right.
to say.
Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
Bye-bye. Am I muscular, Austin? I wouldn't say so. I started working out a year or two ago, but I wouldn't say I'm muscular. I think it depends on why they are uncomfortable. Yeah, I think that's good, Angela. Can I pull that question? Krista, can you word it in a concise way that would help me put it in a poll? Actually, who's a mod? Krista, I'll make you a mod. You make a poll. Dorchy, hey, I'm going to ban you unless you come on and talk, okay? You're spitting too much controversy in there to not come on here. I'm happy to have you around, but I'd like to talk to you. No one is understanding you. Then come on and talk. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with porn or sex addiction and women dealing with betrayal trauma. If you're interested in that, go to the link in my bio. You can schedule a call with me or join one of my groups. Hey, man, what's going on?
How's it going?
Good. What's up?
So I mean, I have a bunch of different topics to talk about in terms of like sex addiction and all that kind of stuff. But do you want me to talk about the request of like clothes and whatnot in relationships?
Sure.
I think that it's like a simple communication thing between partners. I think that also as men and women in relationships, you need to like figure out if you want a traditional relationship or a more modern approach on a relationship. If you're looking for like something modern, then maybe
what's a modern versus traditional relationship?
I think that a modern relationship would be something that associates with like a more modern view on the fashion industry, because the fashion industry in and of itself has become a lot more sexual in the last like 50 years or so. And I'd say that like a traditional relationship in terms of clothes and standards can come from something pre like 1970s, 1960s.
Okay.
And I think that just has to do with like communication and asking the person if they want just like a traditional relationship, and then like that can go into gender roles and all that kind of stuff, but that's a whole another topic. But I had a question for you.
Okay.
This is the first time I've ever seen like I don't really go on TikTok live, but I have a question about retroactive jealousy in relationships. How I'm so like filled with like emotion and like so driven to be in a relationship with somebody until I know about their past and then and their traumas and whatnot, and then all I feel is apathy towards them after I find out about their history.
What's in your history?
Plenty.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah. I think it's because I have the knowledge of like how it affects me, or how it affected me in my past, and I've worked through it. And like, I think that it bothers me when I know about their past and like the fact that they've gone through it too.
Well, it sounds like you're holding other people to a different standard than yourself.
Yeah, no, and yeah, 100%. Like, and that's something that I would need to fix. So, what do you think is like a coping mechanism or a way to like combat those like negative thoughts while I'm with the person or when I'm by myself thinking about it?
Forgiveness. Embracing forgiveness.
Okay.
I'm going to read a quote to you.
I love quotes.
So do I. I love butchering quotes too. But I'm not going to butcher this one because I'm going to read it. The more couples can be accepting of each other's differences, the better. But where we often go wrong is when we try to turn our partners into ourselves and then criticize them when that doesn't work. Those differences that were once so alluring and magnetic become long-lasting points of friction.
I like that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
So, I mean, it seems as though you're saying like, okay, I've got a past, I've healed from that, I'm good now. But you, oh, no. You've got a past. We can't get beyond that. It probably has something to do with just your willingness to be truly intimate. You know, to be intimate is to really let somebody know you. And actually, here's what's coming up for me right now is I would question, not because of what you told me, but just similar situations, like how much have you really shown yourself in your past fully to somebody else?
Maybe once.
Right. Yeah. And even then, it's like to really dig the depths of it and to tell somebody else who we actually are is really hard to do.
Yeah.
Right? And so that level of intimacy is what creates a truly intimate relationship. Is like, hey, I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to show you everything. And I want to know everything about you as well. and I'm still going to choose to love and accept you. Not in spite of it, but because of it. Because I'm still choosing to love you.
I feel like sometimes I'm trying too hard when I'm with somebody. Like I feel like I want to give them everything about me, but then I'm scared that they're not reciprocating the energy. And
Yeah.
so when I'm, laying up next to them or when we're being intimate in some sort of intimate situation, watching a movie, whatever, it feels like what I'm thinking about is trying to give them love and trying to show them myself, but then holding back at the same time. And that causes me to feel like nothing almost. Like it's like a circle. It's like a circle in my head.
Yeah, well, it's the notion of like we're like, hey, come close, come close, come close. But with the other hand, we're stiff arming them away.
Yeah.
Right? We all do that to an extent, right? But the question is, how can you really, allow somebody to be close and not push them away, which is going to happen, right? We all have a story. We all have family of origin issues, but that can be worked through, right? How old are you, man?
I'm 21.
Okay, you're young.
Yeah, super young, but thinking about love too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got time. And, you blink and you'll be 30.
Yeah. It's like, what do you think is a good time though because I would say for me, like I'm very like established in terms of career and where I'm at and everything. And I would say I'm more mentally mature than the average 21-year-old going to the bars and all that. And so right now I'm looking for like somebody that I can grow with and whatnot. But when I have all these like emotions as well as hormones and everything running through me, because I know I'm young, and it's like really hard not only to combat the temptation of like other people, always thinking that there's going to be somebody better for me, right? And if it, like that's the thing is when I'm with somebody and I think about their past, I think about I'm so young, maybe I could find somebody that's, say a virgin or say, doesn't have like trauma with their parents or this or that, right? So it's kind of like that hopeful feeling.
So you want to find the perfect woman?
Yes.
Yeah. Good luck.
I need it.
Yeah, says the man who's admittedly not perfect.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, look, everybody has. I would say I'm saying this loosely, but like trauma with their parents and family, right? Or maybe better put is family of origin issues, right? Everybody has that.
Yeah.
So it's again not looking for somebody who doesn't have it. It's looking to get to know somebody and for the full person, knowing the full person and choosing to love them, getting to know them and their story. Right. Now, with regard to like how many sexual partners have they had? I mean, you got to decide how important that is to you.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like the thought of them having sexual partners in and of itself is like that retroactive jealousy feeling of when I'm intimate with them. The thought of them sharing that intimacy with somebody else like inherently lowers their physical value. Like to me.
Have you had sexual partners?
Of course, yeah. So I wouldn't be in a place to judge. But that's where like there is a contradiction there. But I feel like a lot of men struggle with like even my friends struggle with like, oh, her body count's more than 5, like, and I'm dating her, and that's all I can think about, or whatever.
Yeah, you've been watching Andrew Tate and the Whatever podcast too much.
I used to watch him when he blew up, and then I kind of went away from that.
Mm-hmm.
These are kind of things that I just kind of thought of. Also, a traumatic experience happened with me in a relationship, and like her ex-partner was like, I'm not gonna get into it, but it was a very fucked up situation. Okay, I don't know if I can swear on it. Swear on here? I don't even know.
No, you just did. Yeah, man. Well, you got some stuff to figure out, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, you have a double standard. That's clear. And you're trying to look for somebody who's perfect when you yourself are not perfect. You will age and find yourself lonelier and lonelier the older you get, if that's the way that you're expecting it to work out. And then you'll find somebody who you think is perfect. They've got the right body count and no apparent trauma.
Mhm.
And then you'll marry them, and then you'll find something out.
Yep. That's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is the happiest day of a man's life, supposedly. I mean, you're married, so you can attest to this, is on their wedding day. And I feel like my biggest fear is that with love is that on my wedding day, when I'm putting the ring on her finger and like kissing her, that I'm going to think about the fact that she was intimate with another man before me.
Yeah. Well, what is marriage about?
I think
Good night,
marriage is
Brandy.
like a that's when you can officially say like interlinked spiritually, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you got some stuff to figure out. Right? Like to truly love and accept somebody. You don't overlook the bad parts, quote unquote. It's what makes them them.
What do you think is a good like step that I should take? Should I refrain from women in general and work on myself? Should I keep exploring like relationships and try to
Try
eventually move
men.
past it? Try men. No.
I'm just kidding. But if you're into that,
No.
well, I would encourage you to continue working on yourself to be the best man that you can be, while also looking at what is true love and how can you truly love somebody. I would look at like who really loves you and who do you love. I'm talking like your family of origin, or whoever's close to you, right? What does it mean to love somebody, to cherish somebody, to be cared for or comforted by somebody, to provide, protect for somebody, right? Look at the type of partner you want to be.
Can you answer? Can you like confidently answer like what does love mean? Like how do you feel it? How do you just get a base?
Well, yeah, you can find a million different definitions of love. One that I like, or at least have liked recently, is the willful surrender of power for the sake of another. The willful surrender of power, or you can replace that word power, right? Selfishness, whatever it is, for the sake of another. Meaning I'm going to put you, your needs, your desire, your wants in front of mine. Right? So when we come together, when you take two selfish people and you put them together, in 100% of cases, at least that I've seen, there's conflict.
Yeah.
Right? So to really love somebody is to say, you know what, I'm going to put my needs, wants, desires aside reasonably for the sake of this relationship. Which is very hard to do sometimes.
When is the line between surrendering a sense of power or selfishness versus surrendering like your sense of self?
Yeah, well, never surrender your sense of self, who you are, right? I think that's where learning to communicate with each other. Again, back to that quote. The more couples can be accepting of each other's differences, the better. But where we often go wrong is where we try to turn our partners into ourselves and then criticize them when that doesn't work. Guilty as charged, right? The amount of times that I have and still get frustrated at my wife towards something that she's not doing the way I want it to be done, trying to turn her into myself and then criticize her for not seeing it that way. It's like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Right? I didn't marry her because I wanted another me. If I had two of me, we'd just watch porn and play video games all day. That would be terrible. So in a relationship, we're refining each other through conflict, unfortunately. Conflict is connection. It's how we figure out who we are, what we want, who our partners are, and who they are becoming, and what they want. It's how we bridge our differences and find our similarities or our points of connection.
That brings up an interesting. I like that. I like that because the way I've always seen myself in relationships is I don't feel emotion unless there's conflict. Like I don't feel a sense of wanting them or a sense of like wanting to chase them or like a deep emotional feeling on the inside unless something I guess bad goes on.
Well, yeah, so these quotes are from this book called Fight Right, by the way. How Successful Couples Turn Conflict into Connection by the Gottmans, who are PhDs. They're very smart. But so the second part of one of those quotes about turning your partner into yourself, those differences that were once so alluring and magnetic become long-lasting points of friction. For example, I was drawn to him because of his spontaneity, turns into, why can't you make a plan and stick to it?
Mm-hmm.
Or, I fell for her outgoing personality and great sense of humor. Turns into, do you really have to talk to every single person at the party? So, what we're talking about here is conflict, right?
Yeah.
There's something that you're probably rooted in your family of origin with how you relate to conflict and how you deal with conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What do you do for a living?
I own a property maintenance company, so construction, blue collar.
Okay. Got it. Well, you're asking the right questions, man. And, I think I would recommend just really dive into like, what is your view of marriage, of relationship and love? What are you willing to sacrifice to be in a relationship with someone? What are you really wanting in a suitable partner? I'll tell you this, it's not body count. I'm not saying that's not a bad...
It's not just body count.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have that be a point of consideration, right? But I think that focusing on things like that is a distraction from what will actually bring you close to a partner or potential partner.
I think that it has such a big effect on me because of how like sexually driven I am. I think that I'm very like I would
Keep talking. I got another quote for you.
Yeah. I would 100% admit that I'm like addicted like to sex. I don't drink or smoke, and I think like sex is like my vice, I think. And I made an excuse for myself that sex was my vice, and I think that's my main motivation to like not give myself up 100% to somebody, because number one, of all the fears that I have of the retroactive jealousy, but also my understanding that there could always be somebody better, this and that, and then I'm trying to explore not only emotionally but sexually too, because that supports my hormones.
Well, yeah, but you're playing the wrong game, right? It can always be somebody better. Define better.
Better as in more, I don't know, mental ability. I mean, we can agree that some people are smarter than others, and I guess there's always going to be somebody smarter.
But is that it? Is it all about how smart you are?
As well, I'd say like, I look at it like when you're born with 100% mental value and 100% physical value, and the more people you give your body to, the less physical value you have, and you can never regain physical value if you're looking at it from that perspective. And I think mental value can go up or down because you can go into a very low point in your life and then bounce back from it. But I think physical value is like starts in one place and can.
You're talking about physical value with regard to body count?
I'm talking about physical value in terms of like, I'd say like physical purity, like purity in terms of how a person's body is shared with multiple people.
Okay. Let me read you this quote. This comes from a book called To Be a Man, A Guide to True Masculine Power. And this is a chapter on eroticizing our wounds, which essentially he's arguing, that pornography and other unwanted sexual behavior is essentially acting out old hurt through sexual channels. And this is the notion of like, I'm just very sexual, right? Somebody's saying that. The act of eroticizing our neglected needs and unresolved wounds not only means oppressing them in sexual contexts, but also seeking, however unconsciously, their fulfillment through sexual fantasy and activity. And then there's an example. Paul assumes he's very sexual because he has sex or masturbates 2 or 3 times a day. He is chronically anxious and edgy, often feeling saturated or overloaded with fear and anger. Rather than working with this, he channels his surplus emotional excitation into his sexuality, finding considerable energetic release through doing so, using his ejaculatory capacity as a kind of discharge valve for his unwanted emotional energies. In this, he is reducing his sexual partner to little more than an outhouse for the energies of his anxiety and anger. He is, in short, eroticizing his need to rid himself of his emotional tension while viewing himself, perhaps with pride, as having a very strong sexual drive. So basically, and I'm not saying you're this, right? But it's
I can relate to many of those.
Okay.
Many of those, for sure.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm just very sexual. Okay, well, maybe you have a high libido, and maybe 2 things can be true. Maybe there's some undealt with stuff, and you're using your ejaculatory capacity as a release valve for that.
Mm-hmm. The dopamine and epinephrine or rush in your head to get over the emotional. Yeah.
Totally.
What was that book?
It's called To Be a Man, A True Guide to Masculine Power by Robert Augustus Masters, PhD. It's a good book. If you get it, just go right to chapter 18.
Okay.
There's a... Or if you want to start on 16, never mind. If you get the book, you'll know why. Here's another quote. I'll just read from this, and then I'll move on. True masculine power happens when courage, integrity, vulnerability, compassion, awareness, and the capacity to take strong action are all functioning together. Such power is potent but not aggressive, challenging but not shaming, grounded but not rigid, forceful but not pushy. Again, it requires head, heart, and guts in full-blooded alignment. It's a good book. Check it out.
I'm definitely going to check both of those books out.
Yeah.
100%.
I would actually recommend this one first, though. Unwanted by Jay Stringer. You're getting all the books tonight. All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting. Jack.
Oh, huh?
Thanks for chatting, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep. See you, man. Bye. Crucial Conversations. I'm familiar. I think I have that book. I'm a big fan of Fierce Conversations. They're probably very similar. But I love books about having courage. Do I ever want to write my own book? I don't know. I got to come up with a course first. An online course to put all this stuff I do in something that people can just buy and refer back to, where it doesn't have to be real time. And so I can just point people to, like, if they're struggling with this, go to this thing. I've thought about writing a book, but I'm not the academic type, so that would be real hard for me to do. Hello, that's Amor.
Hello there, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing better every day.
Good.
Doing better every day. Lots to unpack here, but I wanted to touch on what you were saying earlier when you asked the question about, does a partner have a right to tell you what or what not to wear?
I didn't say right.
And,
I said to
well,
request a partner to wear
the
something else.
request, yes.
Mhm.
I think it comes down to two things on that. One is control. If you're in a relationship where they're controlling on all other aspects, you have to examine that. And the second part is intention. Why are you dressing that way?
Yeah.
What's your intention for dressing that way? Are you dressing because it's a confidence, you feel good, or are you seeking attention from others?
Yeah.
So those two, but then as this was going on and why I requested to come on, it was interesting because if a partner requests for you not to wear something and you do that and you still wear what you want and dress how you want, say provocatively, how is it any different when you are requesting your partner not to watch pornography?
Yeah. It's a good point.
And
It's a
they
good point.
do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It just shows, like we're, I mean, there's an element of acting selfishly in there and an element of honoring one another's requests, trying to get to the heart of the issue. Like if I was talking earlier about how I wear these shirts every day, which 9 times out of 10, you'll see me wearing this shirt. But sometimes I do listen to my wife. That's a very bad way of putting this. Sometimes if my wife's like, hey, you should really wear a collared shirt today, I'll be like, yeah, you're right. I'll wear a collared shirt. But it's, I think intent does matter. I think having the conversation, getting to the heart of what's really going on is what's important there.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think it's a good analogy you're making with porn.
Right, right. And then to keep going on another topic, and how much you remember from my story.
Oh, I remember.
When I came in. Yeah. um, Still in a no contact situation, so that has been a blessing and moving forward with the divorce. But I think for me, as I finally, because now it's been, I think it was July, so we're hitting this 6-month mark coming up. For me, and I don't know if this is for anybody else that's experienced the betrayal and all of that and the denial. I think at the end of the day, when it came down to getting divorced and we're putting the wants and all this and the demands, and honestly, I would forego everything just for I think for me, I need the closure. I just want you to admit everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm ever going to get that.
Yeah.
So how do you move forward?
Forgiving what you can't forget.
Mm-hmm.
That's a book. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question, obviously, right? I don't have a great answer to that. I know that part of it is wrapped up in forgiveness, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Forgiving something that you can't forget. Maybe you check that book out.
Okay.
And then moving on, you got to choose something new. You got to choose a new path for your life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got a lot of stuff in your past that you're working through, and this is just like the beginning of a new season. Grief is clearly important. Grieving this, I'm not even going to say a marriage or a partner, though that all is part of it, but it's like a whole stage of life that you're in. The 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. You'll go in and out of all that. But the most important one is the 6th stage, finding meaning, making meaning of it all.
Right. And that's where I think I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm stuck. Because with this, and it's, you feel foolish from another perspective, because in gathering what I've needed to and preparing to go to court and stuff, I just have a lot. It's forced me to go back the 11 years into texts and emails and things. And basically, and I can't believe I wasted 11 years of my life. Wash, rinse, and repeat.
Well, if you view it as a waste, then it's a waste.
Hmm.
If you view it as this is part of your story, now you can actually make meaning out of it and move into something new.
Right.
Are you a Christian by chance? Or are you familiar with the
But
Christian faith?
yeah, but I mean, I grew up Catholic, so
Yeah, okay. So a
Christian,
friend of
yeah,
mine,
so-
a friend of mine's a pastor at a large Christian church, and he refers to his debauchery years, affairs, alcohol, drugs, and all that, as his testimony building years. I love it.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, he was building his story, not in like a, oh, we can dismiss it kind of way, but it's like this is the whole story of your life, right? His life, my life is not just that we're adulterers. Your life is not just that you had 11 years in this relationship and all the things that went down. It's part of your story.
Mhm.
But how can you elevate that to see the whole context of your life is here's this part and that's shaping me, transforming me to go into the next part. It just
And
like the years
that's
before that helped you get to where you were then.
right, right. And I think then, to do that and to tell the story and to help empower in what you do, and like you said, eventually maybe, people ask me, should I write a book, do a podcast, do something to get it out there that would be self-healing. But there's still that part of me, like I have, my girlfriends, things like that are saying, well, so are you going to start dating? Are you going to, and I'm like, whoa, the thought of even having a conversation with another man
Yeah.
is just, I want to say exhausting, but I think in all honesty, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, that's not what you're needing right now is people to ask
Right.
you. You're literally going through a divorce in a very traumatic one. I know your story. And
Right.
your friends are asking you, are you going to start dating again? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like that's not what you're needing.
Right.
You got to I mean, this will take years to really grieve through and
Mhm.
process through it. And bless their hearts, right? It's hard to know what to say in these situations, obviously.
Right.
But it takes time.
Yeah.
So I
And
would
then
challenge
how
you.
much time? Yeah. And then I think, well, how much time? And I'm not getting any younger. And am I going to be 65 before I'm able to kind of push past this? And then what?
Mhm.
So it's really tough. I think this betrayal is grabbed. I mean, I think I'm more shocked by that.
Yeah.
Of what it, I should be able to pick myself up by the bootstraps, dust myself off like I have so many other times and move forward. But this is really kicking my ass.
Well, and there'll be a time for that. Right? Obviously you got to keep doing the day to day, right?
Yeah.
But you're in a season right now where it's like, hey, you know what? Let me just be grounded in myself and who I am. Just get clear on what I'm up to.
Right.
Deal with the betrayal, work on that, and then define the life that you want to live. I mean, that's what Michelle Mays in The Betrayal Bind talks so much about. She calls it the braving hope method, with the last part being, okay, well, flourishing is her last stage of the healing process, the way she defines it. While flourishing is the final phase of the healing process, it is by no means the end of the journey. Healing from betrayal is not a linear path. It is the road that winds around, revisiting familiar territory, sometimes going slow and then speeding up and then slowing down again. So going from that into that flourishing phase of like, well, now what? Now what?
Yeah. And to add insult to injury, I lost my job because and I'm gonna put the onus, partially on me because my performance was because it was so consuming, that so in October, the end of October, I lost my job. So I was like,
That
and I'm
sucks.
still looking for it. But what I did was I'm actually taking the time to find something that's gonna fit as opposed to just jumping into something right away. So yeah, tighten, bootstraps and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's just been one thing after another, and that's why I said I find it very interesting that at the end of the day, I'm still like, I just want I just want an admission and an apology. And am I being stuck on that? Is that going to hold me back? Just like you said, forgive what you can't forget and move on.
Well, here's the question: is if you get that apology, will everything just fall into place?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. I think when you look back and you say this has been going on, and I've been lied to and betrayed for so long, and I believed in you every time you said no, and I think maybe it would help me at some point fall into place to maybe stop questioning my own doubts. But
Well,
I
and that's
shouldn't
the invitation for you. Is you're questioning yourself, which beneath that, I would assume, is do you trust yourself?
No, not at all.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing to look at. It's like you're looking for this is not an indictment on your partner or your situation, but you're looking for an unreasonable person who's behaving unreasonably in a unreasonable situation to all of a sudden start acting reasonably.
Yeah, true. I guess so.
So you're differently put, and this would be like you might not like this, you're giving a lot of power to him in that situation. So why are you giving him so much power for
Yeah.
you to
And
continue living your life?
true. I guess the blessing in this is that all that power is in a strange way, like because of the no contact, it's my internal
Yeah.
struggle. And I'm so grateful for the no contact order, because otherwise I could see myself falling into old patterns and demanding that, like being
Yeah.
like, why can't you admit it? Why I'm going in that same circle. So it's been a blessing, but with that, the curse part of it is that now I'm internally, the battle is now with myself.
Correct. Yes. And that's where the work is to be done. Right? Like that is you reclaiming your power, the no contact thing, whether that was your doing or a court or whatever, however this is going down.
Yeah, it was the
Right.
courts.
Yeah. But it's you now get to reclaim your power, and now you can do your work because there's no contact. He's not there. Wouldn't
Right.
it be great if he can just show up one day and apologize and say all the things you need to hear? But that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so how much longer will you put your life on hold? And it's hard. I'm not suggesting it's easy, right? It's very difficult when there's a betrayal. I had a massive betrayal in my life years ago. Nothing having to do with my relationship or anything, just with a guy who I used to work with. I fixated on that every waking minute of every day for like 2 years. This thing ran my life. And honestly, this one of my friends, I didn't like it at the time, but he goes, "Why are you giving him so much power?" And I still ask myself that question. Why did I give him so much power for that long? Right. I'm not making it seem like my situation is yours. The point is betrayal is
Oh, no.
betrayal. When
Right,
there's a
exactly.
betrayal, right? We can fixate on the other person's behavior, which is valid, but then we got to look at, like in your situation, you're getting to the point of not even dealing with him. Like he's gone.
Right.
For all intents and purposes. So, and again, that's what the healing is getting to that
And I think
point,
that's
seeing the
stopping my
bigger story
healing.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the stop, and I recognize it, and then I guess like they say, with as time has gone on, it is less and less. But then with the courts and the divorce, it's thrown back in your face, and it's all consuming until those papers are signed, until that the house is sold, and all the things that go with it. So it's and coming back to anybody in the chat who's listening might be wondering, this all stems from a pornography addiction and cheating. So it can literally beyond, it can destroy people.
Mhm.
It really can. And I may
Yeah.
be like a worst case scenario in that, but
I've heard some pretty bad ones.
yeah.
It's not a contest. It's not a
Right.
contest.
No, but I'm saying for the people who minimize it, going, oh, it's no big deal,
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of ends of the spectrum.
No,
so.
it's
Anyway,
valid for
I
sure.
impact a lot.
Yeah.
My brain was going.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for chatting. I'm going to go to bed.
All right, thanks,
But
Austin.
good
All right,
good
bye.
catching up. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.
All right, everyone. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with unwanted sexual behavior, such as porn or sex addiction. Yes, Krista. Porn or sex addiction, as well as women dealing with betrayal trauma. If you're interested in that, you can schedule a discovery call using the link in my bio. It's $1 for a 30-minute call. You can chat about your situation privately, not on TikTok like that other couple so beautifully graced us with all their marriage problems, which was very, very fun to talk to them. $1 for a 30-minute call. We can talk about your situation. And, Krista, you don't know me that well. My parents are dead. Really, Krista? With that question? Are you serious? My mom died when I was 5 in a plane crash. Please tell me you've heard me say that at least one time before. And my dad died 5 years ago from liver failure. I did bring it up with my dad, though, about a year before he died. I know she said before. I'm just busting her chops because I can. But obviously I can't with my biological mom. I did. So I came out with everything in 2017. I told my dad in 2018, and my dad died in 2019. And at his funeral, I talked about, I didn't give all the detail then because I wasn't comfortable with it, but I shared at his funeral how I had a conversation with him about a year before he passed, basically just telling him who I actually am and how the last year we had while he was still alive, it was amazing because there was nothing between us anymore. So I wasn't happy to go to my dad and tell him, that I had struggled with pornography and cheated on my wife. And, I confessed to him all sorts of little things that I've been holding on from when I was a kid. And so I'm glad I did that. And, I've shared this a lot of times, so I'm not doing the full story justice, but I was terrified to do that. And my dad was a very patient man. It runs in the family, I suppose. I kind of just talked to him for a while as I was getting all this out there. And then I was like, well, Dad, what do you think? Essentially, like, do you still love me? And he goes, I'm just glad I got to live long enough to see what I've been praying for so long actually happen. He was sick at the time. And essentially what he was saying is, I'm glad I got to live long enough to see that my son's kind of figuring some stuff out. Of course he did. Yeah, that's exactly right. When he said that, I'm like, of course you would say that, Dad. So it was a really special moment. And then I told my stepmom, who's still alive, about a year later, and it's a whole other story, but she knows. We'll just say that relationship is different. But the heart of what you're asking, I just think living an open, honest, authentic, vulnerable, transparent life, in my experience, is just so much better than trying to put the mask on and hide everything. Not that I'm perfect at it, by no means. But as I continue to practice it, it just gets so much easier. There's nothing I have to hide. I don't have to remember who I told what or where I did or what website I went to or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's so freeing. So I would highly recommend just doing your best to live a life of integrity. This is for anybody, right? And again, I'm not claiming to be perfect at it. Nobody's perfect at it. But we can certainly strive to do that. It just gets harder to manage when we're telling lies. So, but no, thanks for asking that question, Krista. Did my dad? You said something like, "Did he struggle?" No, he didn't. He never did. He was a loyal, faithful husband to both of his wives. So I also didn't really ask him those questions. I probably asked him something along those lines, but again, I only had a year, and half of that was in and out of the hospital with him. I'm a P-star. I worked all day. I'm exhausted. Thanks for sharing. I caught my BF with a week ago. No, I don't trust him with anything. He knew it would hurt me. But yeah, so many parents are addicted. It's true. All right, I'm going to bed. Great being with you all. As always, give me a follow if you like my content. If not, that's okay. And make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. It's nobody else's choice whether you have a good day. It's yours. So if you want to have a good day, go have a great day. If not, just don't have a good day. It's okay. Your choice. Don't yuck his yum. That's right. All right. Good night. See y'all.